Good evening, and welcome to London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in 1892. Awakening for the night in the city of London this week is Inspector Grey from the clan of the Hunt, portrayed by Nosgavian. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Excellent. Thurston of the Nosferatu, portrayed by Nitro Typat. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. Aldrich of the clan of Shapers, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, portrayed by Miss Hartz. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. You're getting hungry tonight. Alistair from the clan of the Moon, portrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. Just Eveline letting the side down. We awaken.
I am hungry.
We start this week with a scene that everyone's going to love the background noise for. Inspector Grey is able to get back to his haven, though he doesn't see Inezka. As day swiftly approaches, he has left little choice but to sleep for the day and try to find Inezka in the night and explain his absence for the previous weeks. As he awakens, he goes to find her. I've written that badly. He awakens and finds Inezka looking over his body. She has an instant face of relief when his eyes burst open, and she says, "Mr. Grey, I am simply delighted at your return, but I must insist you tell me where you've been all this time. You promised you'd inform me if you were going to be gone longer than 3 days.
Yes, I am quite sorry, dearest Inezka. It was an unexpected trip, you could say. It was the strangest thing. My companions and I, we seem to have gone back in time or something of the other. It was strange. I am glad to be back now. From my point of view, I was in London some months ago back in the winter, and after about a week I've returned. Or was it one night? No, we slept there, yeah.
That is an astounding tale. Though I must admit, Mr. Grey, in your absence I do have something of a problem.
Yes, Inezka, what is it?
Since you were gone for so long, I was worried where I might find more... well, you know. So I took it upon myself to locate a new provider. It took but 2 nights, but I was able to find another like yourself. I do hope he isn't one of your friends. He was easy to lure in, and he didn't seem to think he would be prey, let alone that a woman would be the one to lure him in. But now that you have returned, I know not what to do with him. He is chained downstairs in the cellar, and a silver crucifix placed upon his neck. I wasn't sure if that was effective or not."
I see. Take me to him. I want to see if he's anyone important.
Of course. Inezka and Inspector Grey make their way down to the cellar. Inezka leads the way down into the small stone-cramped room, lit by a small candle lantern that provides dancing shadows around the room. In the centre, chained to a thick wooden pole, is a kneeling down, legs tucked into his chest, young-looking man. Inezka stands on the stairs as Inspector Grey approaches the figure. The young man shouts and growls insults at Inezka, calling her a manipulative hag for trapping him there.
And, watch your tongue, but who are you?
My name is simply George. I was lured here by that harlot.
George, I don't know anyone by the name of George. What faction are you with?
Faction? Whatever are you talking about?
I see, I see. Are you hungry by chance?
Yes. I was hoping to feast several nights ago, but that hussy of a woman lured me and trapped me here.
Um, see. I'll go ahead and pour out um, a dot worth of blood into like a cup or something, and I'll feed it to this vampire.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Sure.
Okay, fine. You will drink of your vitae.
That should hold you over for the time being. I I need to figure out what to do. Please stay patient, if you will.
It's not like I'm going anywhere, is it?
Indeed. I would want to double check his bindings and restraints to make sure he's well. Um,
And Anezka is fully capable as she has been trained by
good,
you.
good, good. I would like to go back upstairs with Ineska.
The TikTok room?
Yeah. Um, I think he doesn't seem to know what's going on. He didn't admit to any affiliation, so I think you've done well, Ineska. I need to think on what to do with him, but if he is not with the Camarilla, he's certainly a a risk, and I will have to think of a way to dispose of them. I have ideas, but I don't know if I want to act on them right at this moment.
I'm
But
so sorry
you
to have
did
brought
well.
this upon you, dear husband.
Oh, no need to apologize, Ineska. Had he been an important individual or a member of the Camarilla faction, I would have been displeased. However, this person seems to be oblivious of his place in the night. As such, that makes him a risk to the Masquerade. He cannot leave this house, and after some consideration, I will have to find a way to resolve this issue. You've done well.
I'm so relieved. I do have some good news for you, though, husband dear.
Yes, Aneska.
I had started some preliminary research into the murders you have been investigating, involving the women with pieces of mirror in their eyes.
Yes, yes.
I have compiled a small list of priests and doctors who fit your suspect notes.
Oh, fantastic. I definitely would like to see that and share that with the coterie. Priests and doctors, we definitely need to be looking into them.
Would you like me to provide you a brief summary of each of them?
Yes, please, that would be lovely.
All the men of the cloth listed here are no longer employed by the church. Father Jack is an alcoholic. He was fired from the church for drinking the confirmation blessing and doing sermons drunk. He might have operated longer if not for the fact that one of his sermons was about how children should be grateful we allow their existence, and that if they die before becoming adults, they would be damned to eternal hellfire for all eternity. It was not a very well received sermon. Father Ted embezzled money from the church directly. He was struck off for having his fingers in the offerings and running a charity for mothers with no husbands, which of course mostly ended up in his own pockets, and that of many of the local women of the night. You'll find those two likely in an Irish public house, trying to convert them from Catholicism to the Church of England. Father Dougal, however, was ignorant and suffers from idiocy. Perhaps a harmless idiot, or so it was thought until the mostly affluent parents had had enough of him buzzing around their children and making extremely inappropriate remarks to their mothers. He is currently in an insane asylum on the outskirts of the city. I have marked the location in the notes. The doctors, well, they are still practicing medicine of a sort, but not in an official capacity. Although on the surface they may appear to be doing charitable, almost admirable work, their demands are quite unsavoury. Dr. Foster operates in South Bank. He used to be a doctor for children, but had a habit of beating children when they didn't comply with his orders. Dr. Harding assists families in Limehouse, providing medicine in exchange for services or moments of privacy with their wives. Dr. Matthews performs abortions for poor families. He doesn't charge for his services, but seems suspicious, as he doesn't take any kind of payment. Dr. Foster and Dr. Harding's locations have been recorded in the suspect notes. Dr. Matthews has proved somewhat harder for me to locate.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. This should give us some leads to look into. Thank you very much. You've been most helpful. And um, you said you were worried about where you can get your vitae. Were you able to get some from the individual downstairs, or did you still need some?
I was waiting for the man to be less squeamish, less resistant. I was unable to extract anything of use. Perhaps you may have something for me, husband dear?
Yes, of course. And I'll cut my hand and then allow her to feed.
Browse check for me, please. Increase your hunger.
Mm.
I swear, husband, it tastes sweeter coming from yourself.
Mm. But of course, I'm sure you have a taste for my vitae over some whelps.
Anything else you wish to do before
Um,
we change scenes?
I believe that will be all. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you tonight. Otherwise, I think I will be taking this information to my coterie.
Of course, husband, and thank you for being so understanding. I must be the luckiest wife in all of London to have you.
And I, the luckiest husband. Thank you. I'll give her a hug.
It's just such a
And
shame that I am your only fan.
the only fan I need.
Meanwhile, across the city, Eveline has found several telegrams from the Malkavian gentleman whom has recently been employing her services for the sake of an injured kindred, simply going by the name of Young Man. The telegrams are fairly cryptic, but Eveline gathers that there has been some miraculous event concerning the patient, and that Eveline should visit as soon as she could. She arrives at the mansion once more, and is seen inside into the grand living room, where she is received by the older-looking Malkavian. "Ah! Miss Eveline! What a relief to see you! You'd been absent for a fortnight, and I was most concerned."
I apologize for my absence. I was unexpectedly detained elsewhere. Wasn't able to send a telegram.
Young Man has made excellent progress. One can only chalk it up to your sessions together, but come, let me show you his progress.
Oh, that pleases me to hear that.
The older man leads Eveline once more downstairs into the fairly luxurious cellar room. He holds the door open for her and invites her to go first. Eveline finds herself back in the room she has performed in before. The young man is still naked. The wounds upon most of his body appear to have healed, but his right leg bears fresh, deep wounds. Eveline casts her eyes around the room and notices that there are drawings, seemingly cast in blood, that have been hung all over the walls. The crudely drawn pictures seem to bollocks. The crudely drawn pictures seem to depict an angelic figure standing over another as the angelic figure sings. Anyway, perhaps I can ask once more for your inspiring performances. As usual, of course, I shall compensate you for your time and effort.
Of course. But before I sing, I go up to the young man and I put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Next time, use charcoal, please. Get him some charcoal."
Sounds reasonable. Please. Charisma, performance.
And I start to sing a song, a gospel song that includes angels. Reroll.
No, you're fine. You just succeeded.
Okay.
As Eveline's wonderful voice reverberates through the room and slowly winds down, finishing, young man actually turns his head, looks up at Eveline and smiles. The elder Malkavian claps his hands, clasping them together, and finally says, "Such a wonderful, riveting performance! I am sure young man will improve. Please, shall we retire upstairs and let young man absorb your performance?"
I will look the young man in the eyes and just smile back and then take my leave.
The pair return upstairs, and the older man reaches for his wallet as soon as they reach the landing, revealing a crisp, clean £20 note and handing it to Eveline. "I'm sure soon enough, if you are willing still, of course, we may be able to have you care for him in person for a longer period of time, to see what kind of improvement your performances have upon him."
Like I've said before, it all depends on my performance schedule. But we could schedule something.
Of course, and you shall be handsomely rewarded for such an effort. Bringing young man back into the fold is my top priority.
It would be my pleasure.
Anything else you wish to do before we change scenes?
Heal.
Clever. Rouse check for me, please. Lovely. Heal up.
Evelyn's got a stalker.
A little later in the night, the coterie meet up in the Whitechapel house to discuss their plans for the forthcoming night. The medicine men downstairs are filling the downstairs with sounds of life, revelries. Each member of the coterie sits in their respective chair, apart from Eveline, who casually glides in later than everyone else, and without sparing them a second glance, takes her place in her chair.
You know, if that mirror was sitting right there, and I sat right there, I could potentially play catch with myself.
All right, so that's the first order of business, I assume, is a proposal to move the mirror so Alistair can play catch with himself. I have no problem with it. And Demion, what do you think?
Irrelevant.
Yes, if I've ever heard it.
I don't know. If we get something a little bit more dangerous than a regular ball, maybe a ball stuffed with razor blades, then it could be fun.
We have dogs running around here?
Yes, I don't want Mr. Cuddles chewing on a ball full of razor blades.
What?
Have we seen Mr. Cuddles at this point?
We haven't. I haven't. I know I haven't.
I mean, I took him out
I'm
for the
just-
walk once.
Yeah, I'm wondering if during this time skip we've
I
experienced.
assume those of us who live there have probably seen him.
Yeah, those of you who live there have probably seen him, though
him
you
out
might
on
not
walks.
know what he was exactly.
I'll have to admit, I think a ball stuffed with razor blades might be an improvement.
What exactly are your intentions with your Mr. Cuddles? Is the name you're settling on?
He's my puppy.
You have a puppy?
Yeah, you want to
Would-
see him?
Yeah.
Would Gray be here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring him down, and I'll go up to my room and get Mr. Cuddles. Making sure to put him on his leash.
Of course. Really, you're going to leave this to me? You sure you want to do that?
No.
Okay.
I'll scoot over to Thurston. Does she know that's not a dog?
Apparently not. I mean, it's dog.
you a good
I'd
boy?
say
It's
it's dog
cute.
adjacent.
Dog adjacent. What does that mean?
Well, it's shaped like a dog.
Wait, what? You're shaped like a dog, if that's the case.
I can't help but feel that Aldrich could craft a better puppy, and perhaps maybe make some alterations to your puppy to make him more pleasant to look at.
No.
Better puppy than Mr. Cuddles. I don't want to change one bit of him.
What?
Can you get her shirt on and her pants on?
She's a big girl.
What?
Why does it
No,
look
it's-
like somebody turned Thurston inside out?
Also, you're already saying it is a dog, or it isn't a dog. It's not a big girl. Definitely, it's a dog adjacent. I think. I don't know what you're calling it.
What? You just want a pet type of thing, and this monstrosity is something you're comfortable with?
You'd think out of everyone here, you would like Mr. Cuddles.
I don't
How
create
did you let
monsters.
his happen?
I make improvements on things, and I don't see I like things that have a purpose, right? Everything I do is for a purpose, is to improve it, to make it best designed as I can. I don't understand the point of that. So it's to
Purpose is companionship, like any other puppy.
I imagine as he's describing that he likes making things with a purpose, we just watch Mr. Cuddles look like he's hacking up a hairball, but an entire intestine comes up instead.
Won't be his intestine, but yeah.
I'm confused though. If you just wanted a companion, why didn't you just ask Aldrich to come over and cuddle? I'm sure he would have.
not exactly
I'd
the
rather have a
cuddling type.
puppy.
Oh, really? I just figured, people fight, and then afterwards, you know.
Right, okay. Anyway, on to other business then. Any updates? Anything we need to be aware of?
Come on, Mr. Cuddles, we don't need this. And I take him back up to him.
Thank God.
Let her bring that in here.
Right, no, the house made it. I've tried getting rid of it, and out of my jurisdiction.
Is it just me, or does that dog not look like a dog?
No, it looks nothing. It's a fucking hellspawn, tortured soul thing crawling around here, making me feel bad every time I see it. I hate it. And I don't know if she's fucking with us, or if I think she's fucking with us. I mean, she dresses normal. She's a normal. What?
So she, in passing one time, she'd mentioned that she's kind of like half me. That's her crazy side. Also, I think I got something on the floor.
Oh yes, it appears to be a kidney.
Alright then. That's fine. That's fine. Anything else? Inspector, you had something you were saying?
Oh, yes, I will pull out a few pieces of paper. I have these leads we can look into regarding the serial killings, the ones with the mirrors in the eyes.
Oh, right.
Yes, it appears. There's, I've dug up 3 preachers and 3 doctors. A Father Jack, who's an alcoholic. He may be found at a pub. He seems to not like children. He believes they will end up in hell if they die before they reach adulthood. There's a Father Ted. He seems to embezzle money from the church. There's Father Dougal. He seems to be touched in the head, and he's currently in an asylum. There's Dr. Foster. He seems to be a not-so-friendly doctor. I can't recall the specifics. A Dr. Harding, he trades medicinal support and assistance for favors and intimacy. And there is a Dr. Matthews who performs abortions for free. He apparently takes no compensation, which, if you ask me, seems to be the most suspicious out of the lot.
I agree with your inspector instincts on this one.
Even if he is not our killer, everyone else seems to have some motivation, whether it be money, alcohol, or some other carnal desire, but performing his duties for nothing, no one does that.
Right,
He has to have
booze
something.
and coin and sex are all things that are quite common, especially in those fields, I assume. I'm not sure they're directly associated with someone who... yeah, like I said, I trust people into that. I don't trust someone who's doing something for nothing. There's always something.
Indeed.
He gets something out of it. His own pleasure.
Do you have a lead on where to find this? Which one was that? Father Matt?
Dr. Matthews. I forget where he can be found.
I wonder if he and Father Jack are friends.
You were never told where Dr. Matthews was because Anuska couldn't find him.
I
wonder... Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wonder if Dr. Matt and Father Jack are friends. Because if the priest hates kids and thinks they'll grow up and go to hell, why would he team up with a doctor to have free abortions?
I mean, we could look into it. My source was unable to track down the whereabouts or places of frequency from Dr. Matthews. He seems to be a bit more elusive, so we may not be able... We don't have any good way to find him at the moment, anyways.
I'm not sure where to start. Let's just go hospital to hospital, but not sure how many Dr. Matthews there would be.
We could always. I side eye Evelyn. Could always go to the poor part of town and ask where she can get an abortion for cheap.
I hate it when I have to admit that he has a good idea.
All right, bring him to us. I like that.
Yes, we may want to blush up before we head out as well. Otherwise, they may think something else is wrong with our dear lady here.
Point, but I always loved the white pallor I have before using Blush of Life. White pallor.
White
In
complexion.
Victorian ages, the fashion was to get yourself as pale as possible.
This is true. Yes, I mean, your pallor is quite pale and almost porcelain-like. But it's almost too perfect. It may be suspicious.
I think there's more to it than just having pale skin. You know, the whole warmth thing. If somebody touches you for whatever reason, kind of helps.
Breathing as well.
Yeah.
What we could do, actually, we still have the lead from before. We talked about you have our items, right? The items of the last victim that were important to her. We could knock out a couple things and take it to Dr. Van Dyke. See if he can talk to her ghosts, and also give him the ring from the theater, so we could get things rolling on that.
Yes, I'd love to be able to use the theater.
After you have your abortion, though, not safe to stand on stage. You might fall.
Fine.
He's gonna talk himself into that you're actually pregnant.
This isn't going to be awkward at all.
What? So we can actually, I can have my men put the word out. I mean, they know plenty of poor folk. They can put the word out that they knock someone up, mistress or this or that, and they need it taken care of.
Is he the type of person that he would like us to dispose of? We could always give him this address.
Good idea. Bring him here.
Shit, I've had 2 today.
Excuse me, Xavier?
No.
I mean, even if he doesn't want him, we could still bring him in as a good plan either way. If he doesn't take care of him, we will.
And,
I said shit, I had 2 good ideas.
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
I'm out of good ideas.
Yes, I think we're definitely on a good path here. Perhaps because our young lady requires an abortion, she may also need prayers or blessings for that child as well. So we could reach out to, say, Father Jack, and regarding a blessing for the child to be aborted, and let him know that we need assistance finding a doctor to do the abortion for very, very cheap.
Hey, demon guy, are you okay with the church coming in here?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
Well, it's one of his favorite snacks, though. I mean, if we do the proper ceremony, we could bring him in.
Can we kill him if we bring him in here? Huh. You asked the question. He likes you more. Oh.
The
okay,
house
there you
may not like him doing a blessing within its walls.
Right.
I kind of would feel like I would have an issue with them doing a blessing over one of us.
It doesn't make me feel comfortable. Or I'll put the word out. I'll go talk to my men now. Have them say that they need someone cheap and fast to take care of them and to meet us here. And in the meantime, we can go. Who has the woman's items from the last? We had something of import. Well, I don't really remember.
Wait,
I
what?
also think we should
The
stop
last
by
woman who
Elise.
died, we took things that were important to her from a place. I don't know if it's a picture. Someone took chopsticks for some reason.
Oh,
Ring.
I might want to try some food. I've never had food where you use these things and I pull them out of my pocket.
There we go. We have that. We have her ring, and we also have the ring from the theater. So I think put the word out, then we go talk to Doctor. Forgetting his name, Van Dyke, something of the sort. Sound good?
Should we add up by Elysium in there? I'm quite
Why?
curious what happened to Pandora.
Oh,
No.
it would be good to see that.
That is a good point.
Oh, I just hate the whole thing. I was just gonna pretend like none of it ever happened, but yeah, we can do that.
We have to see everybody else when we go there, and I really don't want to see Dirk.
Or not?
He's an asshole.
True.
Most
Most
of
there
the
are.
people in Elysium are.
Alright, well, I mean, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. We can split up
I
and
mean,
meet.
Obviously,
Doctors.
I'm Pandora's favorite, so I should be the one leading the charge.
So aren't you curious about her?
No. I'm not so sure that she killed herself before. Sounds a bit of a dramatic story, especially for a Toreador.
I think.
Sounds exactly like a Toreador.
That's what I was thinking.
I think
I don't understand
Matthias
Toreador very well.
had something to do with her disappearance last time. We did find he was affiliated with the church. Now that he's been eliminated, thanks to was it Aldrich that killed him, or who killed him?
Oh, it was Evil Aldrich, yes.
Yes, thanks
Hey.
to our good
Evil
friend Aldrich, I expect she should be fine now.
Yeah, let's go. I also want to see if Bloody Mary's there. Right? See if she remembers us catching her in a precarious situation.
I don't know if I want
That's
her to.
I
What is she
wouldn't
gonna
say
do?
anything- I wouldn't say anything directly to her. I believe I'm the only one she remembers that night.
Well, I'm not going to say anything. I just want, that excitement of like you trying to tell like they know that you know type of thing. You'll understand. Nosferatu should be into that. All right, I'm going to talk to the men, put out an request for services, and then we will go to Elysium first. Make sure to bring the rings and leave any dogs here.
Here, you hold on to the other ring, and I dig in my pocket, and I just pull out a third chopstick, and it's got the ring on it. Here.
All right, thank you for this. All right, yeah. That away. And we'll go about doing that.
Coterie head out of the Whitechapel house and enter into Aldrich's carriage. Anything you wish to discuss?
I'll talk to my men first to have them.
Oh, yeah. There's more than enough time for you to just go in and say, get the word out. Someone's
this.
knocked up. Yeah. Anything you wish to discuss on your carriage ride, and where are you going?
Elysium.
Yeah, I
Elysium
thought we were
first.
going to Elysium.
Okay.
Stop in, say hi, leave. Like most parties.
The carriage comes to a halt outside the main Elysium of London. It is fairly busy this night, with various kindred talking to each other. The coterie can see various familiar faces from the ball, though only a few that they can name, including Pandora, who is sat talking with the Toreador Primogen, as they both nurse a glass of vitae each.
No one on the stage, I assume.
The stage is completely empty.
I see, Aldrich, not so evil after all. She is alive.
Maybe Alistair can have a word with her. Just a friendly conversation, see if she brings up anything peculiar.
Probably should make sure she remembers us first.
Alright.
I'll head over.
The Toreador Primogen sits back as Alistair approaches Pandora. He remains silent, and Pandora gestures to an empty seat at her side. She places both her elbows upon the table and cradles her face in her hands. What assistance do you require, neonate?
Hi, Pandora.
Yes. Hello. Alistair. What can I do for you this night? You should know that children are not permitted in Elysium.
That's just the adult RPing. You know how they get in here. They get lonely, and sometimes they like to dress up as baby. Never mind. How are you feeling?
Why do you ask? A very curious question.
Last time we saw you, you just looked kind of sad.
I have no reason to be sad. And the last time we saw each other, I had cause for celebration. You had disposed of a potential agent that was set to infiltrate our society.
I'm really bad at reading emotions.
That's because you're not child of the Rose.
So that was joy? That wasn't unhappiness?
Why on earth would I have to be unhappy? I am immortal. I can enjoy this song and dance for all time.
Cool!
She says song and dance. I take to the stage and start singing.
I'll
Your charisma and performance for me, please.
I'll lean over to Aldrich. I think she owes us a boon. But she doesn't seem like the type that wants to talk to me anymore, so.
You will get some sporadic rounds of applause here and there. And then the kindred quickly return to their own affairs. Knowing that you have at least touched that many, that is quite an achievement, distracting them from their own brief conversations. Is there anything else you wish to bother me with, neonate?
Did anybody else want to talk to Pandora?
Well, I had an inquiry about the entertainment. Do you not usually arrange something?
Why would we
Talent
need
been drying up.
entertainment? The reveries consist of talking with each other, acquiring information, exchanging information and services. What better way to enjoy the afterlife?
Oh, exchanging services. I don't know. It can be exciting. How is what was his name, Alistair? Matthias?
Oh, Matthias. Yeah.
Don't ever mention that name around me again.
All right, easy enough. Oh, curious minds, though. Is everything all right? Something we can help you with involving this individual.
Don't ever, ever take a kine for a lover. All they will do is break your heart.
What if they masquerade as a dog?
What you do in your own private time is your business. Now, if there's anything
I
else,
wish you Better luck in
Yes.
affairs of the heart in the future. I will heed your advice. I'm quite the romantic, so I'll completely put myself in danger.
Good. Now, if there is nothing else, could you fuck off?
I will. I'll say to Aldrich, like we're walking away, but we're still within earshot. And I'll just say to Aldrich somewhat quietly, "It's a shame that boy got involved with the Inquisition in church."
Really is. Really is. Um. Interesting. Any other business we have here then? Oh, have we spotted Bloody Mary?
Violet Mary likes to always be
Okay.
obfuscated around Elysium.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. Can I go to the spot she usually takes me to talk?
Yes.
I have sensed the unseen. Would I be able to see her?
If you use the discipline in Elysium, which you shouldn't do, but yes, in theory.
Oh, I thought I was passive. Nope. It's all good.
No,
I
you
don't
have to
think that-
Well, if
cast
you
it
use a
on things like
discipline to see
target.
someone using a discipline, does it cancel out?
No, because then it becomes a competitive role. And I think he would
No,
draw
I mean
attention
rule
to...
breaking cancel out.
Yeah, the duration's passive. I didn't. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, she's the harpy,
Well, it's-
probably not.
Exactly
yeah, we would
that.
use that.
It's not because you're casting the power, it's because it would turn into a competitive role and you'd be stood there going like... And I think many kindred, because they're older at this point as well, would be like, is he doing what I think he's doing? He's doing what I think he's doing. Call the sheriff on him.
Oh, it's just Alistair.
That's also possibly true.
Not worth the risk, though. She's not
I feel like
approaching
half the
first.
half the Malkavians in Elysium are sitting there going.
Yeah.
Talking to the
But yeah,
wall.
yeah. But yeah, no, I'll go to the spot where I normally meet her. And just kind of aloud as if I'm obviously just assuming she's there. Madam Harpy.
You wait a few moments. You shrug and think she isn't there. And just as you turn your back and begin to walk away, you feel her skeletal grip upon your shoulder.
Good evening.
Good evening, kindred. What do you wish of the Harpy of London?
Oh, it's been many moons since I've graced Elysium with my presence, and I thought that on my very rare visit, I thought I'd talk to the marvelous Harpy and see what the musings of the city have to say.
What an interesting perspective to think you could approach the Harpy directly for information. I can't help
Not
but slightly
directly.
respect your ghoul, however. Is there something specific you wish to know?
Oh, no, it's just that there seems to be a few nights that, are unaccounted for. I know that it's common for most kindred to experience such things every once in a while, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
The nights remain relatively quiet. It seems whatever you have been doing to investigate the unsanctioned amaranths have had an effect. There hasn't been a new case for some time.
That is at least good news, I assume.
You would think on the surface it would be good news, but it could also be very, very bad. What clues has it left you? How goes your investigation?
We have a few suspects, but we have yet to go and visit any of them yet. We just stopped here first, in fact.
Then this is troubling news, for if you are not breathing down the neck of the accused, why for have they gone to underground?
It is a good question. The inspector might have a better view upon this news. I am merely the information gatherer. As you
Clearly
might
you are
guess.
the beauty of the bunch.
That too, but I try to let that less be said and more shown.
As it should be. Your dress is familiar. Have you always worn this?
It's a bit of an old look that I decided to resurface.
Intriguing. Still, have you anything else you wish to know?
Not that I can think of, but I thank you for the news you share. Please have a wonderful evening, rest of your evening.
And you, Kindred.
Oh, of course, curtsy, kiss the knuckle, the whole 9 yards.
And as you begin to step back, she starts to fade away in front of you to nothingness and becomes obfuscated.
Is the group still with anybody, or?
I think we were dismissed by now, so we'll probably just be hanging out at a table.
Yeah.
Greetings all. I just spoke with the Harpy. While nothing extremely alarming to report, there is a concerning level, or lack thereof, of recent murders. As you may assume, it's probably not a good thing, though it did sound promising when I first learned of it.
Something I suppose we could look into. There's been a decrease in these kindred murders and amaranths, but has there been a decrease in, say, missing kindred? Because if this Diabloist is getting wise, perhaps they haven't stopped, but the bodies aren't being found.
While that is a good thing to warrant, I feel like if the Camarilla are worried about these kindred deaths, they certainly wouldn't ignore the fact that there are kindred still going missing. If that is the case.
Indeed, indeed.
Something to keep an eye out for. Absolutely. Anything else we need to do for talking to our Giovanni friend?
Have you all got the sudden feeling that everything we've done in the past no longer applies to anything we do in the future?
It's almost as if we altered the course of things by merely existing in the past.
What if the ghost isn't even in the theater anymore?
We should stop and check.
We could.
Kind of
That would be
rubbing one of
convenient.
the bruises I still have from falling. Better damn well be still there.
Did we find something to help us deal with the ghost?
I mean, there's
we
no
did a couple
reason to go.
options.
There's no reason
we
to go
could-
piss off the ghost.
Right. I'll be honest, I don't have the brain to wrap around any of that timey-wimey business at all. I'm just gonna uh, keep operating as I have, which is just
I would
making
just
good decisions every day.
be on your toes because we have approached this guy with this ring saying he's going to capture a ghost and bind it to it. And then he goes, "What are you talking about? We shouldn't be surprised."
Mm. Yeah.
I think we should check.
With the doctor first, right?
We're not
Oh,
at risk.
check.
If the doctor doesn't know, we could still just ask him to do it and have to reestablish why he would do that for us.
Yeah, he was a very agreeable man.
Right. But that's a good point. Yeah, he might not remember. We'll see. If he does remember, I assume the ghost is still a thing. If he doesn't, we'll take it from there.
What if he remembers and the ghost isn't still?
You're giving me a headache now, and I won't have any more talk of it.
Yes, we don't want to, that would just muddy the water, Thurston. Let's not trouble ourselves with something so confusing.
Oh, no worries. You just cast Sense the Unseen and see through the muddy water.
I would
I
assume
don't think
during
that's how that works.
the course of the week, there hasn't been just in our normal routine stuff, Aldrich doing his gang business and stuff. Has there been any drastic changes that we would have noticed?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. Then to.
Anything you wish to discuss on a carriage ride? Or would you like to arrive straight at Dr. Fountaindyke's lab?
Yeah, actually.
Okie dokie.
Aldrich, you were concerned on whether or not the harpy remembered our presence in our excursion.
Right.
She wasn't. It wasn't a perfect memory, as far as I can tell. She recognized what I was wearing and asked me about it as if it was a bit of a cloudy memory and not a perfect one.
The important part, though, is she remember that you caught her doing something naughty.
That's true. I did not dig any holes there to find out that information, but
Did he? Anybody else find it weird that she forgot something that's not even a year old? I find it alarming that the harpy is forgetting things that little ago.
well, the thing that sent us back was the horrid Santa Claus creature, right? No?
I have no idea. I thought it was all Aldo's fault.
It's true.
I
Well,
think we could just blame everything on Aldo.
I plan on it.
I'm okay with that.
either way, the last time we messed
All we
with
know
the
for
fey
sure is
creature,
it was the fog. That's all we know for sure.
it's
right.
true. The fog has done many things to us.
Right, the fog
Wait.
took my chandelier.
Should we go talk to Aldo?
No, it's never the
No.
answer.
I mean, you say no. You know we really don't get a choice.
Right, if we can help it, no.
Okay.
Right, yeah, just keep that in your pocket then. So you might not want to push it, but it'd be nice to know if we have something on her. It's a very
I mean, if
useful
anything,
person to owe us a favor.
if anything, even if she just has the feeling, it makes her treat us a little bit better.
Right. Or makes Thurston a liability. I'll have to kill him.
Can we kill Thurston?
Yes. No.
No.
Thurston's much too powerful. What are you talking about?
My squinty eye, I could take you.
Oh, in the carriage.
The carriage drive carries on, with Alistair staring over at Thurston, eyeing him up and thinking of different ways he could take him down. Eventually it comes to a halt outside the city proper. They approach Dr. Fountaindyke's isolated house, knock on the door, and are seen inside by the hunched-back but strangely handsome fellow of his assistant.
Does he remember anybody? Does he remember anybody from before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you are escorted into Dr. Fountaindyke's laboratory, where you see him in a white lab coat, looking over various books. He turns his head around and greets you. Oh, people, help. Yes, good evening. Oh, it's you. Good evening.
Right, good evening, Doctor. We have some exciting things for you. As previously discussed, who is the ring from the theater?
I gave it to you off the chopstick.
Oh, that was that one. All right. Yeah, we discussed. I'm sure you'll remember. You're a smart lad. If you can use this to perhaps summon and remove a ghost, and then you get to keep it.
You were that fellowship with the ring, yes.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. You feel good about that,
We
Doctor?
only have one.
Got that off your chest now.
Indeed, that is indeed us.
Right, so
yes, you are of Clan Ventru, so this is kind of like the return of the Clan of Kings.
Right, that's two. I will not allow a third. Tread carefully.
Did you see London Bridge? They look like two towers.
There it is.
I think it will be some time before we head that way, but it's only a matter of time.
Yes, you decided on a course of action for your troublesome spirit in the theatre. I sent you many options. I take it you're here concerning your plan of action.
Right, the option that we discussed with you, doing what you need to do, and in return you get to keep the ghost in your possession, right?
Correct. I could use it for many experiments.
Perfect.
Well, no,
so
hold
here's
on.
This.
We don't want many. We want the ghost gone.
The ghost will be within my possession.
Well, that's problem solved for us then. Perfect. And then we did have another favor we'd like to ask of you. Of course, you just let us know what you'd like in return. It was another ring that we had from the
Just say you had
victim.
it, because at this point it might have been.
I got all the rings. Yeah, it was a wedding ring thing. Right, another ring. Like he said, it's what our fellowship does, apparently. This belongs to someone who was a victim of a very gruesome murder, and we would like to know more details about it.
Well,
Is this something you can do?
It's usually given in a wedding ceremony. It's a symbol of everlasting love and ties. Surely you know this.
We were curious if you could summon the person that had it, so we could talk to them.
Perhaps. Nothing is guaranteed, when summoning or dealing with spirits.
Well, you said you need something important to a spirit to do your work, and this is important to that spirit. If it is a spirit, I don't know how these things work, but please try.
It
If you
was
wish
the
me...
only thing. It was the only thing left of his possessions right at the murder scene.
Do you have a portrait or signature of the deceased?
No, but I can tell you exactly how painful it is to fall from that height.
Right, no,
They're
he's talking about the
the-
murder victim.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was
I'm
was
sorry.
there a picture? I don't remember. I thought we took
There
a
was a
picture.
picture.
What was that?
There was a
I
picture.
don't remember the
there.
items of import. I thought
There
we
was a
just loaded
picture.
up.
Yeah, there was a
important
picture of
items.
the couple. But I don't know if we took it.
I don't think you did take it. You took wedding ring, chopsticks,
Frying pan.
frying pan.
The notebook. Notebook
Right,
with
I was
the
gonna say
diary.
we had something. It's something
diary,
else.
Yeah,
I was gonna say ring wasn't sounding
yeah. There was
Fine
a
pan.
diary with a
diary.
portrait.
Maybe that'll have a signature in it. You can check that.
No, it had a portrait.
The notebook and a portrait?
Yeah.
Diary, not notebook. There's a difference.
Well, I mean, it was the book that I found in the bedroom of the place.
Yeah, we'll produce that, and hopefully this will do.
I can certainly attempt it. It will take me some time to gather such ingredients, and as I say, there is no guarantee the spirit is willing to communicate.
All I ask is for your honest try, Doctor.
That is the best I can do. And you shall have it, of course.
What sort of time frame are we looking at then?
About a week.
I would say this would take priority. A week. All right, that's convenient. All right, what about the theater business?
The theatre, once you have decided on your action, I can have that ready also in 7 days.
All right,
Necromancy is a delicate art.
We have decided. What else do you need to know about the theater?
The location, and various other things. This is the first I have heard that you have wished to action upon it. I never received a telegram back, but I appreciate you returning in person to tell me the action you take. Even though a telegram would have sufficed, and honestly I would have preferred, because people...
Yeah, I like our company, Doctor.
In all fairness, we do a lot. Sorry, we forgot.
It's quite understandable. And it's not as if the dead are going anywhere, and we do have eternity to decide courses of action.
Do we, though?
I have never heard of a kindred dying of old age, have you, sir?
No, but I might die to the sounds inside of this place. This is worse than the noise in my head. What's that dripping noise?
One of my many
those
Chinese
concoctions.
water torture.
All right, very well then. You have your instructions. Provide the address and this and that. Anything you need of us, welcome to swing by whenever you want, or if you prefer telegram.
Would you care to be present during the ritual?
God no. Oh, maybe
Yes.
the others. I would not.
It sounds most intriguing.
Curious.
For the questioning the ghost, yes. For the theater thing, let us know, and some of us will accompany you.
As you wish. Very well then. I look forward to doing business with you.
Right. Take care.
Have a pleasant evening. And he just turns straight away and runs back to his research book. You are seen out by the handsome hunchback. That's going to be his name from now on. The handsome hunchback, his assistant.
Like it.
And escorted into your carriage, once more heading back into London. Is there anything you wish to discuss as you watch the scenery of countryside passing by the window and the ever-looming presence of the city growing larger as you approach?
Hey, Thurston, you want to come have tea sometime?
Of course, Alistair. Why wouldn't I?
Let's say in like 3 days.
Okay. What's the occasion?
Well, we just survived going back in time and not killing ourselves.
I guess that is cause for celebration.
Alistair, you did, the rest of us not good enough company for you.
Oh, maybe another time. This was something we'd been planning for a while. You all can't really eat normal food, so it's weird having you just stare at us while we have a nice meal and drink coffee.
Hey,
What?
I can always blush and manage.
Well, then I'll just have to cook everybody something one day at the big house.
Speaking of which, I think I want to use Blush of Life.
Do a rust check for me, please. Gain a
Showing off,
hunger
Inspector.
as the
I'm actually
vitae
hungry now.
flows around your body, reinvigorating your decayed, disused organs. Your heart begins to beat, and colour returns to your cheeks.
All right, where to next then? This was actually oddly efficient for us. Of our irons in the fire, now we just wait, I suppose.
Where are we going?
So we want to try tracking down the
We
doctor.
had so
in
many
other ways.
plans. Was that it?
Right, yeah, I mean, from what we discussed this evening, yeah. There was that business we were told about. Oh, go ahead. Oh, you said good
I'd say goodnight.
We could go to check around some Irish pubs and look for Father Jack or Father Ted and see if we
all
could
that.
get a blessing for the unborn child and the suggestion or advice for a doctor who can do a very, very cheap abortion.
Oh, yeah, we can start eliminating some of them while we wait to hear back from the others. I like that. Burn the candle from both ends type of thing. Alright. Let's head to... We'll go to a pub first. That seems like the easiest.
Let me see your jacket.
Ooh.
Anyone, really.
I give you my
Thanks.
jacket.
I take Alistair's jacket, I bunch it up, and I put it under my dress to make it look like there's a little baby belly.
Oh, that's such a better idea. I was thinking that Thurston would have to crawl up there.
Help me.
As gross as Thurston
Lift up his
is,
skirt, and he's just like, hi.
You
Now
could buy
that was cut from Total Recall.
I've been thinking about this for a while, by the way. So so Aldrich has been thinking about ways for you to make yourself look pregnant. So this isn't just me being off the cuff. I was thinking about this earlier.
Miss
This is like a
Hutch,
legit. Aldrich has been thinking about this.
you mean
Miss Hutch,
You mean
could have
Alistair?
Or yeah, sorry,
You could have brought your puppy.
Aldrich has. No. She needs
Sorry,
to.
Dean
She needs to look
Maple.
like she's pregnant, not like she had an abortion.
Then why did you think of using me?
Did you see that thing? You're so much more prettier than that thing is.
Thank you.
Cuddles is cute.
Yep.
I
Adorable.
Yeah.
Carriage arrives outside an Irish pub in the East End. The pub is boisterous, and the sounds of singing, shouting, and yes, the pregnant one.
Before
What?
leaving the carriage, I'd like to use Blush of Life.
Browse check for me, please. You gain a hunger as your vitae is willed around your entire body. Colour returns to your cheeks, perhaps unfashionably so, and your heart even has a faint pulse to it once more. The coterie enter into the Irish pub. The rowdy patrons don't glance an eye as the coterie approach and enter inside. The pub is so alive, the coterie almost feel a pulse in themselves. They survey the gathered crowd, though no one in particular stands out. They see dock workers, navvies, and others from manual labour positions.
Right, so the bloke here is Father Jack, right?
Yes, Father Jack is the preacher that may be able to assist us.
Right. And he's the boozer, right?
Yes, he likes... I think if we give him some alcohol, he will be our friend.
Easy enough. Let's look for a priest.
I look around for someone with a collar. A priest's collar, not any collar.
Aldrich, do wits and awareness for me, please.
Do I add aspects to this?
Oh yeah, because he's got perma.
Yeah.
senses.
Yeah.
Could almost work against me in a crowded place like this. I don't even know.
Yeah. I think because you are so used to it because it's constantly on for you, you would also be able to, Kal-El style, be able to focus on certain things. Because this isn't a huge... Oh, well, shit.
I'm
What
terrible at
sort of
that
aspects?
either way. So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I can
Audrey.
willpower it. I'll do it for you.
Okay.
2.
Aldrich attempts to focus his sharpened senses, seeing if he can hear anyone preaching in particular. All he hears, in various different Irish accents, are things like, "Spectre is haunting Europe, the spectre of communism," and "Let the ruling classes tremble at a communistic revolution."
Question:
But-
is this the same Irish bar we were in before?
Yes.
Cool. I look for my friend.
You will find your friend with a flat cap enjoying a pint at the bar.
I just walk up and go, "Hey!"
Oh, it's you, friend. It's been some time. Come, grab a seat next to me. I'll buy you a pint.
Can my friends tag along? I brought friends.
Well, I mean, really, 2 of them look like they're a bit bourgeoisie.
No, they're good. They, in order to be able to disguise yourself to get into places, sometimes you have to look a little like, that. They're good though.
Fair enough. Like Plato's Republic said, the only way to bring down a society is from the inside. Come,
Yeah.
we've been mulling over the words. The bourgeoisie wherever it has got the upper hand, has put an end to all feudal, patriarchal, and idyllic relations. What does that say to you now?
I'm like leaning over, waving everybody to come. What? I'm
go
sorry.
over.
Can you say that again?
I'm not sure I can. Friends, come. We were discussing and philosophizing over the manifesto. The line, the bourgeoisie, wherever it has got the upper hand, has put an end to all feudal, patriarchal, idyllic relations. What does that say to you?
So how do you understand this man?
Huh?
How do you understand this man?
Oh, I don't. I just agree with everything they say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll leave that to you.
I'll go up to him and I'll call for the bartender. For my two friends here, I'll point to Alistair and his friend that's talking. 2 shots, please. Hammer and sickle for each.
That's mighty kind. I don't get the reference for a hammer and a sickle, though. Could you explain that one?
No.
That's where the inspector invents what will eventually be.
No, because we went back in time. It's now
Yeah.
a pickaxe and a like a scythe.
Oh, a pickaxe and a scythe. A pick and a scythe. Well, the scythe is for farming the. Is for farming the. Oh crap!
The
What is in a
land.
hammer?
Wheat?
Yeah.
Did you
So
fucking
many-
forget what wheat was? Oh, I think you've had enough. My friend needs to be cut off right now.
It's the hammer and the sickle. It's for like construction and farming. You know,
The second
how
they go
you
into an
build,
Irish pub, they're just like brain melt.
how you build up society.
Just like real life.
The shot's vodka and something.
What can I do for your friends?
Well, my friends here may have gotten into a pickle. I'll let them explain, and I back away to show Eveline.
I'll rub my coat, baby.
Is she fat?
Well,
How dare you!
Oh, box it is for that one. You're a child. And that's a problem.
Oh, right. She's pregnant. Oh dear, which one of you did that? It wasn't anyone here, was it?
That's the thing, we don't know. So we don't want to...
How could you not know who got you pregnant?
Well, when a man loves, or when a woman loves, many men, or sometimes you just don't know.
Oh, she's a harlot.
Not a lot of space between.
Well, we don't.
No, she's just past. She's a performer.
Smack him! I smack him.
But she's got a heck of a right hook on her. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I smack Aldrich.
No, I assume she
Oh,
meant
right.
me. Yeah.
Oh,
Aldrich,
right.
I
Oh,
smack.
okay.
She does it. I'm like, see, they have to keep up with the persona, so we try to, you know.
Haven't you ever heard of the concept of free love?
Free love? No, that sounds terrible.
Right, you're a communist, right? She's for the people, all the people.
Right, so she's a prostitute that gives it away.
No. No.
Right. Do you know what
It's
we
what
could
the
get this
pickaxe
taken care of?
symbolizes.
God.
I missed
Very
that. Sorry.
confused.
See here, sir. A
Yes.
man doesn't
Oh.
want to admit his mistakes.
So let me get this straight now. You're talking to an Irishman, and you're saying that you're pregnant, and it was the man who made the mistake.
I smack Aldrich again just for the hell of it.
Have you, by chance, heard of a Father Jack?
Father Jack! Jesus Christ, why didn't you just say that in the first place? Yeah, he's around here somewhere. He's probably drowning his sorrows with Ted. They like to have a little bar on their own. They talk to us about trying to convert from Catholicism, the proper church, to that Church of England. Oh, they're right lark. You should hear him go on.
I see. Good. I'll take a look for them, and I'll wait for the barkeep, and I'll order a bottle of imported Tennessee whiskey.
As opposed to that not imported Tennessee whiskey that's famous in the UK.
Well, yeah, it comes straight from Tennessee, England.
Yeah.
Barman comes over and he puts the bottle on the bar and he says, "Do you know why they call it Tennessee whiskey?"
Why is that?
Because that'll be a Tennessee.
I'll give him a tenner.
That's really fucking expensive, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Also wasn't the joke I thought you were going for.
No, I thought he was going to say after you drink enough of these, there'll be a 10.
You're in an Irish pub. Every woman here is Irish and therefore a 10.
You hear that, Evelyn?
I'm not Irish.
But you're in an Irish pub, so you are now.
But she's not Irish.
You didn't say that. You just said we're in an Irish pub. Every woman here is a 10.
I said every Irish woman here is a 10. Are we really having this discussion?
I'm gonna go to the priests.
Yeah, go to the priest.
Follow him.
I mean, Shiv, you did put a Malkavian in an Irish bar.
We will find the table with Father Ted and Father Jack, and I will set down the bottle of Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, and
You're just going to keep getting generic Irish accent, for which I apologise, but also I'm kind of fond of doing. Affects this?
well,
Ted, have you seen
good
this?
Father.
He's brought us whiskey from Tennessee. What is this, Tennessee?
It's some place out in the Americas.
They can't even spell whiskey properly. Look, it's got an E in it. Actually, I don't think Irish whiskey does have an E in it. Shit.
Irish whiskey does, yes.
Oh, does
Scotch
it? Okay.
does not. Scotch doesn't have an E. Irish whiskey
Oh,
does.
you should just try it. It's very expensive and good.
You might
Well,
like it,
if
Jack.
it's free, you don't expect me to be paying for this shite now, do you?
It's close to free. We have a lady with a problem. She needs a blessing and a doctor. Other than that,
Close to free.
What's the problem?
Again, I rub the coat, baby.
She needs more than a blessing if she's fat.
you see, she has she needs an abortion and a blessing.
I don't say... I don't know why actually Father Jack and Father Ted are Irish, but we're going with it. Don't say that word around the Irish.
Sorry, just a blessing and a referral to a doctor, and I'll wink.
That's at least slightly better. Well... We can't do much in the way of referrals. Although, Ted, yes, Jack, not doing that. I think Father Dougal knew a doctor that could, you know, that.
Where can we find this Father Dougal?
In a place called Bedlam in Carfax.
Is that an asylum?
Yes.
Oh, how does he operate out of a place like that then?
No. The doctor isn't there, but Father Dougal is there. Father Dougal is the one that knows the doctor to do the thing that you want to do to your fat wife there.
Understood.
What's Father Dougal's vice? Let me be so bold. For
He's a
example, I
fucking
know
idiot.
you. All right. So he's just gonna, he'll just be easy, friendly then. You can just ask him for help and he'll help us.
Maybe. He's currently in the care of Dr. Soward. Is Dr. Soward? Dr. Soward.
What's this story?
Dr. Soward. He's a little bit of a character, I have to say. He's obsessed with derangement and shite. He has this one guy, he records him, and I don't really care for such things. I think if you stray from the Church of England, because that's apparently what the Irish are doing now, then you deserve everything you get, including these heathens here who are all Catholic.
All right.
Well, Father Jack, Father Ted, enjoy your Tanassi whiskey.
Thank you, friend. It's not as repugnant as I first thought it might be.
Well, if you like it enough, maybe you could get them to put your name on the bottle.
Oh, and Father Ted, I understand you of high position in the church.
Not in the church. I'm just going to stick with English now for this guy because it's just confusing me. I'm not in the church any longer, but I was a mayor vicar.
You're not in anymore. Why not?
The money was resting in my account.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying to steal it. I just needed to.
No, it's alright. I was about to blackmail you for just that, but if you've already been caught and fired, I've got no reason to talk to you. Alright.
We can keep the whiskey though, right?
Yes, you can keep the whiskey.
And you'll see that Father Jack is just chugging it at this point straight from the bottle. Great.
So I guess next stop will be a Bedlam.
I guess so.
All right, let's move out.
The coterie leave. The funny Irishman, as we're going to call it, and head into the carriage, and hopefully getting this back on track as a horror game, where we'll take a break. I apologise for the amount I injected of comedy there. You're gonna need it. We should be right back.
domain knowledge.
Yeah.
Do a politics check.
Is that a
Yeah,
streetwise
politics?
thing? Streetwise? Yeah,
Or
politics.
Nosferatu without
Yeah, do
politics.
intelligence and politics.
Okay.
From that expression, I know.
Well, that expression was, I gotta remember where politics is on the
Far right.
character
Right.
sheet. Yeah.
I love that Bully and I are just like, it's on the right.
Not bad.
That's pretty bad. You haven't got a fucking clue.
I
Could
don't
I-
have a fucking clue.
Could I give it a try?
Oh, okay. Intelligence and politics, please.
I'm debating if I should search for this or not. Nah.
I really need to know this.
Shit.
Okay.
Despite your extensive knowledge of the politicking in London, you understand that the city itself has not been split into different domains. It is all considered the domain of Mithras, who does not hand out small sections of his own kingdom to other kindred. As far as you're aware, this is no particular kindred's haven either.
Yeah, so
Didn't I get yelled at by the Ventru for taking territory without their permission?
Yeah, but that's Ventru.
That's just them being cocks, yeah.
As far as I'm aware, all of London is the domain of Mithras. He just allows other kindred to claim havens and interests as long as they don't interfere with his interests. And ultimately, all of London is his domain. It belongs to him.
Well, I would. All right, that makes sense. The Ventru were giving me shit about taking territory. I'm starting to think they're trying to throw their weight around with me. It's good to know. That's really good to know.
Sounds like a Ventru thing to do.
Oh, it does.
Perhaps. I would not be surprised if the Ventru are going around trying to collect up as much territory and influence they can without drawing the attention of Mithras, so that if in the future he ever is out of the picture, whether of his own volition or otherwise, they would have better standing than other kindred.
Well, I think they're trying to play middleman, you know? I mean, officially, I mean, the negotiating and making territories that no one actually recognizes but them, and you got to go through them to get them.
Yes, that does.
It's enlightening. It's enlightening. But it doesn't necessarily help us with the situation. But either way, once we go in there, let's just keep our eyes peeled. And Thurston or Alistair, if you see anyone who is of our persuasion, just let us know.
The coterie proceed in a carriage, eventually coming to a halt outside the infamous asylum known as Bedlam. They walk up the long stone pathway to the grand double-door entrance. They creak the door open, and Alistair holds it open for Thurston, who curtsies before entering, with Alistair following in right after, leaving the rest of the coterie on the outside of the building. The rest of the coterie proceed in, with Aldrich holding the door open for Eveline. They proceed into a large hall decorated with portraits, presumably of founders and previous administrators. A decadent wooden reception desk with inlaid etched decoration along the lining is in the centre of the back wall, with a closed door behind it for the staff, and a brass bell sits innocently on the table.
I get the impression that this place is set up like a Mithraean.
Why?
Just all the brass bells and all the such. I don't know, perhaps I'm just...
All the bells and yet no whistles. I'm disappointed.
Why is this place nicer than most places people live? Crazy people hang out here. I should hang out here more often.
I was about to say maybe we could find you some new friends.
I don't need help doing that.
I know, but it's the thought.
If I needed a crazy friend, I would just make you crazy.
Please don't.
You do a pretty good job at that.
You sound so earnest about that, Thurston. We won't let him do that to you, don't worry.
Big bad
He's come
Alistair.
close before. I'm just.
Please, Alistair, no. Right, how do we get... who works here? Is it a bell?
I assume we ring the bell and someone will show up.
All right.
You know, like having servants.
I could always just start
Aggressively ring the
screeching like a
bell.
crazy person. Oh, okay.
I can do that too.
We could make Thurston do it.
I don't think anyone wants to hear me scream.
We could make him do it.
So ringing the bell louder.
We start to conspire.
The wooden door opens, and a stern older nurse walks through to meet with the coterie. Good evening. I am Nurse Ratchet. Are you here to check someone in? She says, eyeing up Eveline.
Right, now, we're looking for Father Dougal.
Father Dougal. He is in Dr. Seward's care. Dr. Seward is currently doing another interview with Renfield. Perhaps he would like me to call ahead.
Excuse me.
He doesn't often get visitors. I'm sure he'd be pleased to see you.
Call ahead to the doctor or to Father Dougal?
We do not usually allow visitors that are in Father Dougal's state.
All right, well, I'm going to have to ask you to make an exception this time. Take us to Father Dougal immediately. I'm going to mesmerize her to do so.
Okay, to mesmerize.
Or attempt to, I should say. Seven.
He stares at you blank-eyed before finally saying to you, I am not familiar with that part of the asylum. I am only allowed here on the desk.
Right, Thurston, tell me about her.
Can I cast Sense the Beast on this lady?
Yeah, you don't even need to roll for Sense of Beast on her. I think that'd be pointless. You will see that she is most definitely mortal.
I guess, yeah, it wouldn't give me anything along the lines of if she's Gould or whatnot, though.
I can do that.
You would know if she was... I think you would find out if she had any kind of supernatural element from Sense of Beast.
Let's find out.
Okay, I
So
guess you
his
wouldn't
is
find
straight
out.
up. But if he said he couldn't, I would cast Scry the Soul to help.
Everyone use a power on her now.
Hey, do Scry the Soul for me, please.
Boop.
Oh,
4.
yeah, that's more than enough. Yeah, she's just immortal.
No ghoul or anything?
Nope.
Unfortunately, I think she
Anything of
just really
note?
likes her job.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I guess she really doesn't know where he is. That's fine. I apologize for that. We'd like to go to Dr. Selwood then.
I shall call ahead for you. Proceed to the
Thank you.
meeting hall. The signs are clearly labelled. You shouldn't be able to get lost.
Alright. And I'll head that way.
What part of
As-
the asylum did she say the father was in?
She didn't. She just said it
She
was in a
didn't. Oh,
different
okay.
part of the asylum. I mean,
Oh.
I think you've all got more than enough common sense to realise that he would be in a very... probably an area for particularly dangerous or unique maladies, shall we say.
The at-risk wing.
Yeah, that kind of thing. The hysteria wing. The coterie leave the reception area, their feet clicking on the solid tiled floors as they follow the signs for the main meeting hall. The distant sounds of tortured souls locked away in cells echo through their heads. Anything you wish to discuss on your way?
As I walked by Nurse Ratchet, I just kind of stared her down.
She just be like,
Places are rather unsettling, don't you think?
It's quite comfy.
I'll second that remark. It is very unsettling.
Like, don't talk. Listen.
I listen intently.
you will hear
All I hear is music.
you will hear very disturbing screams and shouts.
All I hear is music.
Sounds like a party.
This is a great coterie.
Coterie arrive in the main hall. There are no doors, just a large open doorway allowing them to instantly enter into the large hall. Their footsteps echo around them as they each grab a seat from a nearby stack. As they settle in, from across the hall, they can hear more footsteps approach, and a fairly average-looking man, but dressed smartly, enters the hall. Good evening, sirs and madam. I was told you wished to talk with me.
Which one is he?
Right, we're looking to, we're hoping to speak to Father Dougal.
Father Dougal. Interesting case. If you feel you can talk to him, I would be glad to escort you there.
Do you mind telling us a bit about him while you escort us?
He's an idiot. We're trying new experimental therapies on him. Come. We shall talk and walk.
All
You
right.
can leave the seats. Someone will sort that out. Far more interesting, though, he says as you're walking along the many hallways, footsteps echoing through, is my current pet project, Mr. Renfield. He suffers from delusions which compel him to eat living creatures in the hope of obtaining their life force for himself. Recently, he's been receiving insects from a patron from Romania and has begun eating death's head moths. I have diagnosed him as a zoophagous maniac.
That is interesting.
When you say he eats people, like
Not
cannibalism.
people, sir. Insects to date.
You say he's receiving death's head moths from somebody in Romania. You give him these packages?
Of course. He becomes quite agitated without them. It was decided it
So
was
you
best
give-
to...
You give in to his desires?
What else is the option, sir? Deny him his mail? He's
Cure him?
entitled to his freedom. We wish guests to be as comfortable as possible.
You speak of his affliction with such generics. If he wants to consume living creatures, why specifically these types of moths?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. He believes he's receiving messages from this patron, either through the insects or some other means. Of course, these are all his own maladies and not to be taken seriously. But we would also not wish to feed his paranoia and deny him what is rightfully his, for instance, his mail. It also makes him quite
Have you
compliant.
tried contacting his insect patron?
It's particularly difficult to get in contact with someone so far away. Our resources are limited, so I merely attempt to diagnose and treat the afflicted patient as best I can.
Does his patron have a name?
We are unsure. The packages come unmarked, merely addressed to Renfield.
We might be able to actually help you out with that. Oh, we're in the business of medicine, as it is as well. More the applications of it. We'd be happy to, after we talk to Father Dougal, maybe look at this Renfield for you.
Perhaps. He is opposite the way from Father Dougal. I fear, though, you may not have much success with Father Dougal as you hope, but I have no reason to stop you. Come. The coterie are escorted through the winding corridors, past various cells, with heavy metal doors only bearing slides. The muffled, tortured sounds of the occupants and their trauma can be heard etching out of the doors and scratching into the coterie's ears. Eventually, they are brought to a new area, a heavy iron-barred cell. Inside is a single bed with an occupant wrapped in a thin blanket. This is Father Dougal. As you can see, he's quite mobile and has been for some time. We are trying a new experimental therapy on him. It's called mesmerizing. Are you familiar with the term?
Never heard of it.
Excellent. As you can see, however, he is currently catatonic.
Mr. Thurston, do you mind giving just a cursory glance around and just know what we're dealing with here? Your expert
but
opinion.
Of course. And I'll cast Sense the Beast on this dude.
On both.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I better make you roll. Do one roll for that.
Okay, it is... Okay, I have the things plugged in for that.
You and messy criticals.
Yeah, yeah, this is probably the worst place to cause a kerfuffle. I'm gonna re-roll two of those, or both of those zeros and one of the ones. Cool.
You wield the vitae around your eyes, using the power of your blood to sense what you can about them. You get no supernatural senses off of them. As far as you can tell, they are both mortal. As you do so,
Everything. Okay.
a hand reaches out from behind, grasping at Aldrich, and a twisted voice echoes and shouts out. Better not shout loud. You know what's coming. You've heard of the dragon, and he has heard of you. And Dr. Seward quickly grasps at the arm, reaching out for Aldrich, and plunges a needle into it. The arm retracts as the owner slumps down onto the floor of his cell. My apologies, that was Mr. Renfield. He's usually quite dormant at this time.
To answer your query, Aldrich, I gave a look around. Everything seems to be above board. No surprises here.
The usual cases, then. Perfect. All right. Alistair, Evelyn, you want to take a crack at Father Dougal?
After you, lady.
If I have to.
I can do it first if you'd like. I'm a bit quieter.
Okay.
Hey, why did the doctor stick a needle in the patient's arm?
The unconscious man remains unconscious.
It was a bad joke. I don't have one. I'm sorry. And I'll cast Imitation on Father McDougal.
Be awake first?
No,
I thought I thought that was Renfield he put the needle into.
was.
And Father
Okay.
McDougal
Father
is
Dougal
a-
is... Yeah,
I
unconscious.
thought you were
Dougal's-
talking to Father McDougal.
Father Dougal
But it's a
is under hypnosis and catatonic.
Well, there's nothing I can do to help him. Make him fucked up more.
So if we try to make someone who's insane go insane, will it cancel each other out and make them sane?
No.
It'll make them insane squared.
Sounds like you've tried before.
No, I just know what I can do. I mean, you saw the dog.
All right. Cool. Well, just see if we can wake him up, and I'll just sort of shake him a little bit.
He just drools at you. We've tried all the usual methods. Vigorous application of shaking, slapping. Nothing seems to work.
Yeah, the standard methods, right.
I will sing to him the same song that I sang to the young man.
A truly lovely voice. And we have not tried singing at the mentally deranged. But it seems to have been ineffective.
Can you give us a moment? Perhaps your presence is having an effect on him, you know?
Of
I
course.
mean, we know you're trying to help, but he might not.
Of course. Please, if you discover a cure for unconsciousness, please let me know.
I will. Thank you.
And he walks out.
Is he
I'll bite my
unconscious?
wrist and feed him some blood.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
That's spicy.
And take 2 humanity stains. For ghouling and innocent. The man.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah. I've been watching these tutorial videos on YouTube. They talk all about this in depth. Maybe you've heard of them, called Table Goth. Amazing content.
Heard of those.
Never heard of
They're
them.
Great.
They do have really good.
Didn't listen to
tutorial
that guy.
videos.
there's one of them that is so fucking attractive and hot. I'm constantly thinking about, and this beard gives me ideas if there's something to hang on to. The man regains consciousness, slowly sits up and looks at you.
Alright, that's better. Alright, Alistair, now I'll see what you can do.
Father?
I
Are you me
lean-
father?
I lean down real close. Hi!
Here it comes.
Are you me father?
You're
Am I
the
his
father.
father? I don't
He's
think
the
I'm your father. I could be your friend.
Do you want to go to the freak show and see the spider baby?
They have spider babies at a freak show? Wait, wouldn't that just be a zoo?
No, it's a spider baby because it's got the body of a spider and the head of a spider.
Oh, but it's small.
And spiders all small.
Got a really good point. Where's it at?
It's in the freak show.
You wanna go right now?
No, it's night time. It's closed at night. What kind of an idiot are you?
I turned to Aldrich. I got nothing.
Alright, Father Dougal, you have a doctor friend that we would like to talk to. Dr. Matthews, right? Is that what they told us at the bar? We got a lot of names.
Dr. Matthews? Is he the doctor that's named Matthews?
Do you know of?
I caress the coat baby.
Why are you so
Well,
fat?
I think that was...
She needs an.
I wasn't talking to her. I was talking to the man that looks like an elephant's foot. She's clearly pregnant. I'm not an idiot.
Someone's sane in this place.
Do you know a doctor
Maybe.
that could help us take care of this pregnancy? We were told you could.
Have you seen Dr. Harding?
Harding, that's the one. Right, now, we have not, and we would like to see him. Do you know where we could find him?
Limehouse.
Limehouse. Where specifically in Limehouse?
Probably in a house. There are many. You see, there's many poor houses in Limehouse. Go to the one that's got the sickest people in it.
Right. That's quite useful then, sir. Thank you.
Are you my
What's your
father?
connection with him? I mean, sure. What's your connection with this doctor?
Well, Dad, he was a really nice guy, and sometimes we would play fetch.
What would you fetch?
Children.
From where?
London. Wouldn't go far for children.
Are you-
Fucking everywhere
are
they
these-
are, little bastards.
Are these children born?
Well, I mean, yes. What kind of children aren't born?
Do you rip these children out of women?
Well, I don't personally. That's not what a vicar does.
What did you do then?
I would play games with them.
Hey, do you have another?
Are you me dad?
Yes. Do you?
Hi, Dad.
Do you have? Is there another child you need to get sometime soon?
Not that I know of. I mean, have you looked around the place? This is an asylum. There's not many children here.
When's the last
would
time
you-
you fetched a child to play with?
Friday.
What's today?
Oh, so how do you
Wednesday.
leave this place then? Well, you just walk in and out.
No, that's impossible. You can't get in and out. You just said when, and it was a Friday.
Right. So you have not done it since you've been in here.
No. No. How could I? Nah, no.
And how
Oh.
long have you been here?
They brought me in on a Wednesday.
You know your days of the week very well. All right. I think that's enough to go off of. Don't you lot agree?
Yes, I think we need to speak with this Dr. Harding.
Absolutely.
Can I make him not help him anymore? I don't want him to go get baby.
No, I am absolutely on the same page as you. If you would like to do it, by all means.
Hey, you should stop taking babies, and I'm gonna blood surge and cast dementation.
Okay. Okay. Do dementation for me, please.
Feel like that's what Alistair wanted.
Would you like to stick with it, Ted?
Sorry, I lost the screen, so it's really hard to see everything.
You got a messy critical.
No, I got that. Yeah, I had to switch back and forth. I just couldn't look at you all.
You could view all three of them and get even higher critical.
I know, right? Like we're in a room by ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna keep the beast. So I was like, he was catatonic when the doctor left.
Fair enough.
All right. We shall hang by 2. And as your words echo around the cell
2 to 4.
and inside of Father Dougal's skull, he looks at you, tilting his head as drool slowly appears in the corner of his mouth. A moment later, his head explodes, spattering you all with pieces of brain matter and skull as his body slumps to the floor. You take let's call it 3 humanity stains.
That's
Should
not what you
we?
were supposed to do. I use my handkerchief to clean myself
Oh,
up.
you've been practicing with Miss Eveline. That was something.
Perhaps we should try to talk to the Winfield before we grab the doctor. He may not like what he sees.
I plan on taking Renfield with us.
Ah,
This man supposes to know me. His behavior obviously is quite, I don't know if it's strictly vampiric, but it seems odd. And he said something about a dragon. If you'll remember, we spoke to, who was telling us about an order of the dragon infiltrating people in West End, right?
indeed. Well, I'm hungry. Is everyone else
Bit
hungry?
peckish.
Oh, I'm doing fine. No, I mean, we're not going to eat Renfield.
Not Renfield, but you don't think the doctor's going to let us leave with his patient after killing another one of his patients, do you?
Oh, you plan on murdering your way out of here?
Murder's such a harsh word.
Oh, I mean, Inspector, I could just simply tell him to let us go, and he will. You feel the need. I don't know if the doctor necessarily deserves something like that.
You've convinced me. I think the diplomatic approach would be better.
All right, yeah, just everyone take it easy. I feel like we're getting a bit jumpy with all this right now. All right.
I'm over just trying to scoot pieces off the body and brain into the corner.
I'd use a handkerchief.
Standing in front of it like real awkward. Just...
I'd use a handkerchief to try to wipe some of the gore off myself.
I just got the Matthias goop off of me, and now this.
You're always goopy.
In all fairness,
I know, but I prefer when it's my goop.
In all fairness, if he doesn't realize that we're kindred and none of us have blood on our hands, we didn't punch him. His head just exploded.
I think at this point it's better if
phenomena, isn't it?
I'm just gonna make him
I think so.
forget that we were ever here. To be honest, I'm just gonna clean all this up.
Spontaneous
Only 2 people
humor.
have seen us, so I'm gonna be fine. All right,
It's really cool I can do that, though. Sucks that I know it now, but it's really cool I can do that.
Oh yeah, that's. Yeah.
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
It's concerning you did that on accident, because you do things to us regularly, and if you accidentally blow our heads up, just be careful, Alistair. Please be careful.
Was he like us?
No, according to Thurston.
They're a little bit easier to screw with.
Yeah, tell me if Renfield is like us. I'll take him over to that.
I think you cast.
What's the door like? To where can we see in? Is there little bars on the window, or what's the?
It's a cast iron solid door. There is a small slat which you can turn and open to eye level. Oh yeah, and there will be a small, very small barred window on one side. I don't know why I'm doing it. On one side, which is where he reached through. Again.
But yeah, Aldrich, I when I cast Sense the Beast, the doctor was in there, so I confirmed he wasn't either.
No, Renfield, not the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was Renfield and the doctor that you were looking at.
I think it was as well.
No, I looked at. I thought it was Father Dougal and the doctor.
Either way, he's mortal.
Okay.
Does this door look like something I can force open with a bit of blood, or is it too solid for that?
That would be too solid.
We have people that can do this.
I could assist you with that,
thirsty.
Aldrich.
Oh, really? Oh, please do.
Very well. I will walk up to where the locking mechanism is for the door. I would slice my hand and use corrosive vitae.
I see what you're doing.
That melts metal, right?
There's I'm assuming it's a door with a keyhole. If it's a keyhole door, yeah, I feel like you could put it in.
And before I tell you that early locks were still made of brass.
He'd still
Oh,
melt
I
it.
suppose I could. Huh?
You would still be able to melt it, brass
Yeah.
or not.
Oh, I guess if
suppose I
it's
could
super
lockpick
corrosive,
it.
yeah.
Let's say it would just take for metal. It would just take forever if you're just straight up melting through a door. But just the lock would be maybe. I don't know.
Oh, if it's lockpickable, maybe it would just be easier to pick the lock.
Yeah, do it
Oh.
with acid blood.
Okay. For the grams, right?
Okay, so what are you going for here?
I guess melt the lock to free the guy.
Okay.
The Winfield.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Okay.
Okay, gain another hunger.
Gain another hunger? Or, oh yeah, I gained a hunger from the last check.
Jesus, 900. Okay, that's good. Thank you. You apply your vitae and it begins to singe and scorch on the lock. From the smell and the sound that's filling the room, Dr. Soward comes dashing in, sees the corpse on the floor, and looks at the lock as it's slowly singeing away. What the hell is going on here?
Oh, I can explain. I'm gonna use forgetful mind.
Yeah, I'd say that would be a freebie, because he wouldn't really be expecting anything like that.
Still arouse for me. There we go.
Shame the Winfield killed the other patient. He had to be taken away.
Ooh, that's good. Right, yeah, you came in. Renfield had gotten out. Something terrible to Father Dougal, and then escaped.
He looks at you confused for a moment, and then turns and runs off down the corridor, shouting for the guards about an escaped prisoner.
Alright, that's a cue. Let's hurry it up now.
You will have burned away the lock by now.
Right. I guess we will hoist up the
Whoa,
Winfield.
whoa! I just said you burned away the lock. I didn't say the door opened.
Oh. I would try to open the door.
Doesn't move.
Is it still locked? It appears to still be locked. Let me try a different approach. Can I lockpick this lock that's on the door?
Deadbolts.
Oh, deadbolts.
That was my next question.
Is this a new thing? A new deadbolt I've never heard of?
Yeah, well, you melted the physical lock, but there's still a deadbolt on the door.
So can we turn the handle? Should there be nothing
Yeah, I'm
stopping
just
it now?
thinking
If the mechanism's broken, now we should be able to just force the handle?
These are separate.
No, like, yeah, like you guys melted a legitimate like loop and key type lock, whereas there's a deadbolt in the door.
Then what
Not a
opens the
lock.
deadbolt?
I'm confused. Is the door not going to unlock
You're
because the
thinking
lock's
far
melted?
too much real life. Basically, this is me saying, please don't fuck up the timeline and kill Renfield, because I'm not going to let you no matter what you fucking do.
Oh,
But we're trying to kill him?
Oh, okay, so we're not taking Renfield with us.
I thought we were setting him free.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
take him out and question him. But he's not conscious. We can't talk to him. Then yeah, with the guards coming and that, we will take our hint and leave.
You'll be able to get out of the very well signed asylum, making your way past guards, quickening themselves, ushering around, panicking, finding the body of Renfield, Father Dougal. You exit Bedlam and enter once more into your carriage. Where would you like to go? And is there anything you wish to discuss en route?
The Limehouse. I guess we can get there, and I don't know if you know off the top of your head which is the sickest people out of the poorhouses, but
Your
ask
driver
around when we're
would
there.
know, and even if he didn't know, you'd be able to find. That place looks pretty obviously horrible.
By
Right.
chance, do you think we could stop for something to eat?
Oh, where do you want to go?
He's
My
right.
place or something else?
At the moment, I don't care. I'm just quite hungry.
Hey, Aldrich,
Right.
I'm hungry too, but is there a way we could, like, just pour it into a glass?
Yeah, no, it's easy enough.
I just feel bad after last week.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, let's swing
After my
by.
talk about how we're all killers because, and then I did it.
Yes, you did. All right, yeah, we'll swing by and get the usual.
Any of you even have any information about the Death's Head? I don't know why I'm so caught up on this, but it fascinates me that it's so specific.
Why did you
know
ask
that-
him?
Well, because he clearly didn't know. He said he was wondering the same thing.
Yeah, it worries me.
Right,
that
we
it
can
was-
stop by my house and look at my moth collection.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
You eat them?
No, you.
Oh, no, they're
pin
pinned to
them.
a board.
Yes.
Oh, I just don't. With you, I don't know anymore. I'm finding out more and more about you and your.
But that doesn't really tell us why you would eat them. It just tells us you collect moths. Well, yeah, but he was eating them to consume their life force.
Yeah, the only thing that comes to mind of Death Head's moth is there is a painting that I know of called the Hireling Shepherd that features a Death Head moth in it, but I can't quite figure out why it would relate to what we're doing here. Other than there are some people, the painter himself even says that there's some kind of biblical symbolism in it, but everybody's kind of debating that at the time. So
Might be worth researching. Once we're done with this business, that and this Order of the Dragon. That's the second time we've heard something about the dragon.
No, dragons
Indeed.
I know nothing about.
Think dragons are real?
No, oh, well. It's a good question.
I mean, werewolves are
All
real,
have
so
dragons.
I
Yeah,
mean,
a few
I
years
can, with enough time, make a dragon, maybe.
could it breathe fire?
That I don't know.
It'd be more like a dragon adjacent.
Like a dragon look-alike. Well,
A pseudo dragon.
yes, a pseudo dragon of sorts. Thurston, on to the topics of food. When you, for the Cleopatrans, when you diablerized, how was it? Was it easy? Was it difficult?
I got through it rather well, but I was told beforehand that it could be quite difficult.
Let's see. What would you say was the most challenging aspect?
I don't know. Like I said, it miraculously went very well for me. I guess just fighting against the other soul to keep it from taking over, but that's pure conjecture, really.
I see. So the individual the Cleopatras gave you that didn't fight back, anything of the sort?
If you
He
want
did.
help,
I was just much greater.
well, I mean, and also I did most of the work as far as
That is fair,
security.
he did.
keeping them down, so. If you're interested in eating someone, Inspector, I can assist you with that. Who did you have in mind?
It's just an idea I'm using around with. Nothing. Sometimes if the Masquerade is in danger, a breach needs to be sealed. That's all. I would, of course, never do anything in violation of.
Right, of course.
Yes.
Knowingly.
Right, I would never knowingly do anything in violation of the Assamite's agreement with the Camarilla.
I mean, really, besides someone being angry at you, there's no drawback to it from what I saw. Thurston, you said you got stronger from it, you felt better from it. I think it's just a rule put in place from the old, so the new doesn't need them.
Indeed, to limit power. That's why amongst the Assamites, diablerie is much more common. If you've got an underling that is a disgrace or someone that needs to be put down, it's very common to unmake what you've made, so to say.
I mean, makes sense. Why waste?
Indeed,
Like,
indeed.
I mean, if you have to, take out somebody that's of our society, might as well consume what they have.
Yeah, I think
I don't know,
it
it's
should
so
be
barbaric.
illegal. Right, it should be illegal to waste parts like that. Honestly, I think you should absolutely every dead kindred should be consumed.
When Evelyn says it's so barbaric, yeah, but it's really not so bad because I mean, look at Thurston. He says he got more powerful, but we don't believe it.
Well, I mean, we drink blood anyway. It's just.
I mean, I just made a guy's head explode. I spoke
that was
words and
barbaric.
poof.
Yes, but that isn't surprising.
That was pretty surprising. I didn't know I could do
I'm
that.
shocked.
I had a
He
feeling
did
you
it
could do
quietly
that.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, did you notice when it actually popped, it wasn't that loud?
But
Or like a fluid-filled balloon being popped. More like a squelching sound.
to
Ah,
go
that's
back to
true.
your inquiry, Inspector, I would be more than happy to give you a few pointers if you need it, because, like I said, I did it quite well, so I just must be naturally good at it.
Very well, Thurston. I think some pointers or some advice would be in order. As you said, you appear to be quite experienced in the matter.
I know the first thing he does.
What is that?
He goes to Aldrich for help.
Ah. Very well.
That is a bad thing. He did do a lot of work.
Not a bad first step. Though in your case, Inspector, I hope your first step is to make sure you have permission, because if you don't recall, Coterie came together to hunt down someone who's doing that. So I'd hate for us to have to do that to you.
And I
which
can
is why
see-
which is why I kind of kept it a secret, because I forgot I was given permission.
Of
happens.
course, I verified that this individual knows nothing about vampire society. In fact, allowing him to live is a risk to the Masquerade.
It's an interesting
Alright, well.
specimen.
Don't
You
get
just
caught.
don't keep secrets from us. They hurt feelings. And if you diablerize somebody without telling us, I can find out.
Thank you for keeping me honest, Alistair.
God help me.
I'd help Alistair if that's what the inside of his head sounds like.
That's kind of why I picked him out. So if you heard my kids, I could be like, that's just RP. That's immersion.
The coterie arrive at Limehouse. Oh no, the coterie arrive at Aldrich's opium den. They proceed inside after being greeted. They see the flyers in a nice little stack, slowly descending, and are escorted into their private booth. Is everyone inside?
Yes, I do not need a snack, though. I would just be enjoying the attention.
That's fair. And how can we be of service to you tonight, Master Aldrich?
Right, two of the usual for myself and the lady, and then you're good, Thurston?
I'm good, but I wouldn't mind the company.
Oh no, I mean yeah. And then you're just gonna watch. We usually charge for that, but I'll let this slide this time. And then two guests for the other two.
Do your guests have any preference themselves?
Someone who's sleeping or exhausted, something of the sort.
We can make them sleep.
Well, if they're asleep, that means they're gonna be on something. Do you want that?
I suppose if they'll have a touch of alcohol or something, I don't want to do anything too inhibiting.
Right. Give him my usual.
As you wish, sir.
I look at Aldrich. I'm not too picky, but maybe somebody that is at their wit's end and doesn't really want to live anymore, just in case.
Plenty of choices of those in London, sir.
Alright, one of those.
As you wish.
You go here to order from a menu.
You care to see the wine menu?
Mine
too?
Mine was pretty easy, honestly, because
Emo special, please.
shitty time to be poor in London. Everybody's like,
Moments later, the room is filled with victims of the kindred's choosing. Aldrich, do your feeding roll for me, please.
I'm also not actually hungry. I'm just essentially getting a bite to get some drugs.
that's an addict.
Well, because you're not properly feeding, you just want to imbibe some of your drug of choice. I think that's going to be a success for that because, you're not necessarily feeding. So what we'll do is we'll say you extend your fangs, your pupils dilate on purpose, and you sink gently into your victim's flesh, extracting only the slightest taste to slake a slight part of your hunger, but satiate your need for opium. You may slake one hunger. Eveline.
As usual, I would like to sing a love song to my victim as I sink my fangs in.
Do a rouse check for me, please.
Oh, you need a rouse check for that?
Not rouse. Sorry, your feeding roll, but that's fine.
Yeah, okay, I did my feeding roll.
Yeah, you're fine. Eveline begins to sing the mystical, beautiful love song known as Entrails Ripped from a Virgin's Cunt, as she extends her fangs and sinks them directly into her victim's flesh, biting deep into an artery and extracting just enough blood to satiate her thirst. She licks the wound afterwards and her victim lets out a pleased, euphoric sigh and sinks into the chair. You may slake 2 hunger. Alistair. Oh, honey.
No success at cost.
No problem. Alistair
I just
attempts. Alistair attempts to feed upon his own victim, extending his fangs, but unfortunately, his victim looks up at him, sees the razor-sharp teeth coming out, lets out a small scream, and runs out of the room. Inspector Gray. Wonderful. Inspector Gray, without formality, distracts his prey as it looks at the victim of Alistair's running away, extends his fangs into the dazed, sleepy thing, directly into an artery, and slakes his hunger. You may slake 2 hunger, but you will subtract 2 dice from all your physical dice pools for the remainder of the night, and your difficulty to resist or control frenzy is decreased by 1. Thurston, you were just watching, right? Okay.
Did get company. Thurston, would you be willing to share your company with the less fortunate? And I point to Alistair.
He's not feeding.
Yeah, I don't think Aldrich gave me one because he took my company.
We are his company.
Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah, no, he was just. I told you I feel bad about last week. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Well, it happens to us sometimes, bad experience and performance anxiety and whatnot. It's all right.
Your look last week was not. It happens sometimes.
That's true too. All right, well, we did what we could here. Time to maybe we'll get another opportunity when we run into this doctor.
Inspector is quieter than usual, and he's just kind of like looking around rather sluggishly, and his eyes are like dropping closed and taking a second or 2 to open.
A sly smile to Aldrich.
Yeah, I kind of give her a knowing look too.
Oh, don't worry. Inspector, it's your first time. Just don't move too fast and you'll be okay.
Hey, what's wrong with the inspector?
I
just gave him some of the good stuff.
I didn't.
Feel like
I just asked for alcohol or something. I don't know what's wrong with me.
or something.
Don't worry, once it kicks in, you'll be on the top of the world. Like, you could fight Mithras, you'll still lose, but you'll feel great doing.
Should we have possibly done this, before we went to deal with some shit? Or after? I mean, before? After?
I mean, I feel great.
If you're too hungry, mistakes can happen.
He obviously can't even stay awake. Mistakes can happen.
I'm awake. I'm fine. It's just everything is moving very fast right now. Just slow down, Alistair, please.
No.
Oh, look, get used to it. Actually makes it a lot easier to deal with people. I don't want to say like Alistair, but it just helps relax. You'll be all right. You should see me when I'm not on it. I can be a bit aggressive on occasion.
So
think we
you're
have-
not on it all the time?
I'm on it most of the time. It's worse when I'm not.
Could have fooled me.
Oh, well, it's up to you. Do we need to stop by somewhere else, let you do your thing, or think you can
No, I'll
hold
just
out?
not make heads explode. We'll be fine. Famous
All
last
right.
words.
Could-
I can see the future.
I could conjure up a few rats. I don't know if that'll help.
No. Good.
Not in here.
That's
Not
nasty.
in here.
I mean, it's not for everybody, but in a pinch.
Did you know rats gave diseases?
Not to kindred, though.
Or
You
All
sure?
right. To the poorhouse. Yes.
yes, to the poorhouse.
The coterie head back out.
that-
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, is that like a pub?
So there's
As we walk.
actually a coffee shop here named the Poorhouse, Pour.
The coterie head back into the carriage, with Inspector Grey slumped against one of the doors, his eyes drooping, as everyone in the carriage stifles a laugh looking at him. It doesn't take long for the carriage to come to a halt as they arrive in Limehouse, which was only recently integrated into the County of London with the Local Government Act passing in 1888. It stretches across this modest section of the city and reaches the banks of the River Thames. Although no longer the significant port it once was in medieval times, it provides important links from the Thames to the canals within the city itself and further into the country. In 1832, the first case of cholera was reported in London within Limehouse, and was ultimately responsible for the deaths of 800 people. It wouldn't be the last time the cholera descended upon the city. With the invention of the railway, Limehouse Basin is slowly losing its importance as a major distribution hub, as trains are much faster and able to transport far more than the canal boats previously used. Many connected terraced houses infest the area and are inhabited by the poor. Though they are not destitute, they will never be able to scrape themselves from the squalor they live in currently. Please come next week for another TED Talk.
It's uplifting.
Today we all learned.
Sorry.
All right.
It smells bad out here.
Evelyn needs a service story. And seeing if we can't lure him away somewhere, we can deal with him properly.
Yes, given the way Dr. Harding operates, I'm sure we could find some leverage.
What do we do though? Just walk around like one of those kids on the side of the road with the newspaper, just like pregnant out of wedlock, pregnant out of wedlock.
Perhaps. Hopefully, Dr. Harding can give us some information regarding Dr. Matthews. We will have to see. But given Dr. Harding's penchant for trading medicine for intimacy, I think we can negotiate with him. Maybe promise him a cure. Surely he's picked up some sort of malady.
Oh, so
We'll have to
this
see.
isn't the one that was. I thought this was the one that was the murder. This is not. This doctor knows the doctor's the murderer.
Dr. Harding is the doctor that trades medical assistance for intimacy.
But yeah, isn't he also the one that Father Dougal said was his partner in crime?
Yes, we don't know. But Dr. Harding is not the one that performs the free abortions.
Oh, that guy
I
just might
made
be
a
in.
mistake.
Oh.
This is Dr.
Oh.
Matthews,
Oh,
not Dr. Harding.
okay.
That's what happens when 15 NPCs are thrown at you and they're all doctors.
It's what
One
happens
person
when
says the
you're all
wrong
like.
name and we roll with it.
It's what happens
All
when it's like,
doctors-
we're going to get Renfield out of the cell, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to stop this. Oh shit, I need to stop this.
No.
Yeah, this is going to fuck things
Never
up.
mind. Never mind what I just said. I don't know much about Dr. Matthews. We'll just hunt him
You're a
down.
shit inspector, Mr. Gray. I'll tell you that.
I'm a shit storyteller, and I'm sorry, everyone.
No, you're great. You're great.
Now we got it. So I'm going to clarify before we go in. So yeah,
Good
this
thing you
is our
bloody
target.
did.
then.
Yes, this would be our most likely suspect, given his
Alright.
motivations are unknown.
Go in, act very concerned, and I hope we'll find what we're looking for.
Yes.
Come on.
You head
Inside.
inside to the poorhouse. They don't even have a lock on the door because who would want to break into a poorhouse? You find cramped families, destitute, in an extremely pitiful squalor. Various coughing aside, and people wearing virtually rags.
Sort of like it's sort of almost like I'm helping Evelyn walk a little bit, like one hand on her shoulder, the other on her arm, just sort of coming through. I just anyone, sort of the first people we see, or anyone who's around, just please, we're looking for a Dr. Matthews, quite urgent.
You sure you want to see Dr. Matthews with her condition?
Yes.
She just gained a little weight. It's okay.
Beat you to it.
I mean,
You're
You're
muted,
muted.
Miss Hearts.
I smack him. Sorry, I'm moody. It's the hormones.
That's true.
hormones? Why don't you pay them?
It's an imbalance of her humors. She'll manage.
Dr. Matthews, I mean, he'll certainly provide a solution if that's what you're after.
Is it the final solution?
You motherfucker.
Well, we just heard that he could help.
Sorry.
I don't know all the details. We just need to talk to him.
Well, he'll rip the baby out.
Wait, what?
That's what Dr. Matthews does. Whether or not I assume your sister survives is a different matter. But the service is at least free.
All right then. And where is he?
You will find him on a boathouse. Just half a mile along the Thames that way. It looks disused, but he's there.
Is there like a code word for something like this? It sounds sketchy.
Just knock on the door.
All right. Thank you very much for your help.
God bless and good luck.
Thank you. We've visited a few priests today, so I think we're in good standing at the moment.
You must be more desperate than you appear.
Thank you for your concern.
I had a little something to calm my nerve.
Very healthy. Dr. Matthews seems to live in a rather lavish manor house. It was easy to find. The sounds of London are distant on the wind, at this distance from the city, and the house itself, the boathouse itself. Only a lamp lit in one of the lower floor windows shows that it is even in use anymore. The distant sound of London is swamped by the sounds and sloshing of the River Thames.
Alright, so what's... Do we want to know why he was doing what he's doing, or do we just want to punish him for it?
We want to know why.
Alright. Get him to sing. Get up and knock on the door.
You only wait a few seconds, and then the door is answered by a rather dishevelled-looking man. Yes, what bring... Oh,
I caress the coat baby.
my, you must be quite far into term?
I was waiting for this.
Alright, may we come in?
I've been quiet the whole time. I've been waiting for this.
Please, yes. And
He said, "Oh."
Head inside. Take a look around.
you head inside, and you find it not exactly dilapidated, but not well maintained. The phrase that would be apt in this day and age would be certainly could use a woman's touch.
I appreciate you letting us in your home. Do you usually do house calls, or do you go to the women?
It varies. I prefer people come to me, but I'm always on the move. So hard to get property in this city, you know?
I know it. Evelyn, if you want to tell him about your problems.
So come. Sit.
While this is going on, can I just look around for any... I'm specifically looking to see if he's got a collection of fingers. Or wedding bands.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this.
There's a row of fingers just standing up straight.
You can either say no, or I can do a check.
I'll say no. I'll say no in this instance.
Okay.
Because you don't see anything, it seems, or rather lived in, we'll say. But you will see that there is an upstairs.
Oh, okay. All right. I just nudge Thurston and kind of point.
I'll sit and say, as I think it's my problem is quite obvious.
Yes, of course,
I was
but
told I could come to you for help.
of course, I mean, I don't really practice anymore these days. It's more of a favor to give back to London after I've taken so much. It's once you begin to apply the doctor's healing hand, it's hard to give up, you know? So, how long have you and your husband been with child?
Please don't let this leave this room, but I don't have a husband.
I see, that explains why you have come to me. How very fortunate for you.
While this is going on, could I kind of sneak out of view and use unseen passage?
We would be trying to distract him and keep his eyes on me as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Rel's check for unseen passage.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's fine.
Okay. And then I want to go upstairs and when I have an opportunity, I want to use heightened senses to kind of look around for things suspicious. No?
Not you. Nitro.
You go upstairs, and you see, at the top of the landing, 2 rooms, one either side of the hallway. Both have doors that are fully shut at this moment.
I will try to go into the right one.
You enter into the right room. It's the one that runs along to the street, and you simply find a very simple bed, neatly made, and nothing else.
Okay.
Who's next?
Hold on. You gotta give me a second. Holy shit. Sorry.
Alright, I'll give you a second. Holy shit.
No. She's like, we're coming out. Kids are getting out of the bath. We're coming out, and then they start to come out immediately. It's like, whoa, hold on.
So who's
God,
next?
this is the most stressful thing ever.
The man has left from where we are, right? Like we can't see him anymore.
I mean, you would be able to just simply walk behind him or something like that because he's focused solely on Eveline.
No, I don't want to just randomly disappear if he's in the room.
Okay.
Yeah, Aldrich's just staying there with Eveline and the man. He's not saying anything, just taking a position nearby and just watching.
I would cast Silence at Death and go upstairs with the inspector.
Okay. What are you doing on the landing? You've got Inspector Grey has invisibly walked into that room on the right, and you've got that room on the left. You'd like to go in there?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. You enter into the room, and there you
good.
find a rough wooden table, smeared in blood spatters. Along a shelf is a stack of rotting, partially rotten, and some still fresh fingers. Next to them is a stack of wedding rings or engagement bands.
I take the wedding bands and go back downstairs.
You have taken the Matthews band.
First name's Dave, isn't it?
There's a couple here, right?
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Okay.
I mean, you've probably out of the entire stack, you can take basically as many as you so wish.
I would fill my pockets up, but not the pockets with the chopsticks in it because it would get confusing.
That's true. You shouldn't cross the chopsticks.
I'm gonna put my chopsticks in my wedding ring pocket. Damn it. Because I would have been watching the stairs as you come back down. Do you motion anything, or do you just walk back down?
I do look suspicious, and maybe I have my hand in my pocket and I jiggle my pocket. But honestly, if you had no idea, it would probably just look really awkward.
If,
Seems pretty Alistair, yeah.
If Alistair pops in and pops out and doesn't say anything, I'll peek in the room myself just to see.
And you will see the
Yeah,
macabre sight of a table, fingers, and
I will take
engagement
a
bands.
couple of the flesh fingers.
Yeah, I'm okay. I've got no issue with that.
Okay,
Make sure they're in the right pocket.
and I'll head on down.
So, shall we proceed with the procedure?
Where? Here?
My surgery, such as it is upstairs.
Put my hand in the pocket and put one of the rings like on my finger, and I want to go Aldrich, and then I'll just put my hand up and wiggle this finger with the wedding ring on it. Yeah.
If you would all care to watch, I do enjoy an audience.
After he says that, I would like to, sort of, this will obviously break my invisibility, but I'd like to, gently and firmly place a hand on his shoulder, and with the other hand, I'll bring out the 2 fingers, and I'll say, it's not often you find some lovely fingers such as these, is it, Doctor?
Man begins to panic. Where did you find those? Why have you got fingers?
I will the stack of wedding rings and throw them on the floor. Same place I found these.
Right, we just need to know, does anyone besides Father Dougal help you in your business? Since he can't help anymore, who's replaced him?
I admit that business has become slower, but there are always the desperate and the downtrodden that seek me out. I do this city a service. Also, it is now suddenly fucking pissing down with absolute rain, so if I suddenly disappear...
So you're a witch? You melted. Got it.
This is storm-level rain here.
Right, so Father Dougal's the only one who assists you in your charity work, then?
He was, until he was committed. Rightfully so, however.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty messed up.
So now
But
it's
surely
just
you see the benefit of this service. There are enough little bastards running around this city.
Which part's the benefit?
Depriving this city of leeches. Small bastard children that commit nothing to society. You see them every day, begging, stealing. They do nothing. They leech upon the tit of this city and country.
And why is it, in performing this service, you find it necessary to cut the fingers off of young ladies and replace their eyes with mirrors?
Is a performer not allowed to enjoy his work with an audience that seem alive and watching?
I lean back over to Thurston. Called it.
Only when the performance is tasteful.
Did you know? Did you know it's bad luck to break a mirror? And you had to have obviously broken mirrors to put them in their eye.
Old wives' tales. Who believes in luck and such things? I believe in science. I believe
gesture
in things
around.
I can see.
Is it?
Mirrors in the room.
Yeah, it's probably at the very least a small hat. What are you looking for?
I want to break the mirror and wield a shard of it at him.
Yeah, no problem. You'll find a hand mirror.
We'll break the mirror and wield a
Never
sharp
saw
shard
it coming.
Yeah,
When he looks, he gestures
really
over to
good
people
luck.
talking. Oh, look at me, look at them.
You shouldn't be so rough in your condition, miss.
Could I tell which hand is his dominant hand?
I mean, there's a
on
90%
talking?
chance it's going to be right-handed.
Fair.
Especially as he's a doctor anyway.
Is he sitting near a table or something of the sort?
He'd be standing in between Well, yeah, he stood up from the table that he was just talking to Eveline with.
I want to see if I can pin his right hand down with a knife.
Oh, do the whole knife through the hand into the table thing?
Yeah, if I could. Try it.
You are... do for me... strength and melee... with a -2 modifier.
Right. I am going to... It's already going to be pretty bad, so I think I'm going to try to surge for this, too. Okay.
Perfect.
So I guess that would be no modifier then, right? Because I guess the blood surge counters out the -2, right?
Yeah, technically.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Just. Inspector Gray takes a man's hand and slams it onto the table, and in one quick flash pulls a blade out of his coat, impaling the man's hand, attaching it to the table. He lets out a scream of pain and looks at you with fierce hatred.
I will smile and say, "Good doctor, you get the opportunity to be your own audience, Lady Evelyn," and I'll gesture to her.
Will go up to him, and first I want to do two things, if that's okay. First, I will take the shard and plunge it into my coat stomach. See his reaction.
I loved that you call
Then
it
I
a coat
will-
stomach.
I mean, I'm not hurting myself. It's just
Yeah,
coat.
yeah.
No,
Right
not
she
the
does it,
coat,
I go,
baby.
wait! Aw.
Then I'll hold the mirror up so he can see himself in it, and then attempt to slice his neck with it.
I'd say he would count as grappled, to be honest with you. It's not like he's going to be able to dodge out of the way effectively.
Total.
So I will let you do that for an automatic success. Slicing open his throat with a shard of mirror. His left hand instinctively comes up to his throat as gushes of blood exit from his body. He slowly slumps down as he loses consciousness, even pulling the table forward, impaled on his hand. Yes, you there, the crippled boy.
As he's grasping at his neck and the life is leaving him, I would like to go up, lean down in his face, and go, "Now this is tasteful," and pull the knife out and hand it to the inspector.
The body slowly slumps down, blood still trickling out of the wound upon his neck, and the soul and life leaves his body once more.
Oh,
Dead.
but I could have killed this one. I could have. This is. Okay.
I mean, you might want to drink now before the blood goes bad.
Oh, that's no fun.
I'm terribly sorry, Alistair. You could have fed off of him.
Oh, no,
So-
I mean, you still can. Oh, fun isn't a part of it. You just gotta drink.
Yeah, but he's dead now. It won't sit right in his stomach.
All you've wasted time talking about it now. Alright. That was a good thing. Are you alright, Miss Evelyn?
Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine. And I'll pull the coat out and hand it to Alistair and say, "Sorry about the holes."
Well, I can't wear it now.
She's not
I'll
fat.
get
Not
you
interested now.
I would make sure to leave some of the evidence near his body, like the fingers and rings, and obviously there's more upstairs.
Alright, can you get one of your contacts to send someone by?
Yes, I will. I will let the chief inspector know that there's one more dirt bag he can clean up. This individual won't be stalking the knights and killing women anymore.
So, do we know if it was just them or if they were a part of something bigger?
It seemed rather personal for him, didn't it? I mean, the
Yeah.
collections and whatnot.
Two people were involved. Okay, I guess let me rephrase. The main thing, not the what he turned into a collection thing, but the main thing is: are we sure that that ended here? I mean, sure, the taking of fingers was his vanity, but the child thing, it sounds like I don't know. 2 people be involved
Well-
is kind of weird.
I mean, yes, but he did say that Father Dougal was no longer providing him with the children, and like the Harpy told us earlier tonight, the murders have gone on so long without Father Dougal that he was probably either in the process or couldn't find somebody to replace him.
Well, I think he was a disturbed man, and he roped in another disturbed man in his business. But there might be a larger conspiracy at play. But it seems odd to that many people to organize around doing something this heinous. But it's not the wildest thing.
You say that. Have you met some of the kindred we've been talking to? It's kind of what we do.
Yeah, usually for our own good, though. He seemed to be. I mean, he thought he was doing good. I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna discount it. It could certainly be part of something bigger. I agree.
Indeed, and I mean, he was kind. Their mental capacities are much more limited than ours.
I mean, we asked, and he said it was just him and the father. So
Yeah, on what the inspector says, he thought he was doing art. Never felt more disgusted.
Killing is an art, though.
Not if you do it the way he was.
I mean, I guess it's subjective as long as you believe in what you're doing.
I mean, it's more of a means to an end. I don't know about an art. It shouldn't be done. It's not beautiful. It's messy and it's necessary sometimes. I'll give it that.
And he preyed on women in their lowest state.
Oh, that's the biggest problem. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, is there anything you can do to look around or touch things or figure something else out? Maybe.
I mean, I guess.
Inkling that there's more to this.
I mean, it'll just tell me his emotional state or the emotional state of who, like that table. I could probably find out how somebody felt on that table. I probably don't need to do that though. I could just guess.
Right. Now, if it's not gonna show us what was going on, if there were other people here.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I might get a rush of emotions, but I have a feeling that it'll mostly just be fear.
Right. If it's just emotions, that's not gonna help. Well, we did a good thing here. Either way, we've stopped a problem that needed to be stopped. Protected the Khan from themselves once again. We could swing by the other doctor, our Giovanni friend. Let him know he doesn't have to worry about doing that thing for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I should tell my men so I don't have doctors showing up to the house.
Inspector Gray. Wits and awareness
Yes.
for me, please. I mean,
Would I be able to
anyone
use-
can do wits and awareness if they so wish.
Would I be able to use Auspex with this too, or not?
Heightened
In
senses.
what way?
Well, I was
No,
using it upstairs. Okay. Wits and awareness.
Perfect. As you begin to leave the boathouse, Inspector Gray is looking around, and he notices a very small mark etched above the door, far fresher than anything else, and remembers it as the mark of Belial.
No.
I would point this out to the coterie.
Lovely.
Yes, I believe
Well,
this
maybe-
is the mark.
I think that answers my question.
Well, when we decide to finally leave the boathouse, make sure to watch your step. You don't want to fall in the water and be attacked by sharks.
But still, I wonder if, because he was a demented individual, he worshipped a demon, or if this demon is recruiting people to kill babies.
Well, the mark seems fresher than the others we've seen. Perhaps he is indeed a newer recruit.
Hey, demon guy, do you know who Belial is?
Yes.
Is he dangerous?
Yes.
Do you like him?
No.
He helped us escape when those Belial folks had us before.
Should we be worried about the symbol on this door?
Yes.
It's really easy to communicate with him when it's yes, no question.
You've got to figure it out.
Yes.
And Demian, what is your opinion of art? Is it subjective or?
He'll just say irrelevant.
Yeah.
Go forth into the night.
I was about to say, go fuck yourself.
For some reason, I thought that too. I'm like, oh, he did it. He found it. As soon as I go find it, I thought the exact same thing. Is this something we need to take care of? Do we need to go after Belial?
No.
Oh, okay,
Not for
good.
me. Demon's business is their own.
Did we do a good job killing that guy? And I don't mean like was it a good killing? I just mean was that worth it?
That is not my concern.
Oh,
It's good
okay. Well
feeling,
then,
right?
What was that
Well,
other
now
name?
we know what to
Sorry?
look out for.
it was a good killing. I guess if they don't, I guess the demons don't have beef.
That's good because I do not want to get involved in that. Now we know. Maybe next time we
Feel
have
like
to
we are.
investigate something. This
I,
depravity. We'll keep an eye out for this symbol.
Indeed, but sadly, I think I have to agree with Alistair. Despite not wanting to be involved, I think we already are.
Nope, I said no. I'm not. So it's as easy as that.
While
How
we're
easy
all
would it be to live
talking
in your
about
head?
this, I'm looking at all of the wedding rings that are on the floor where Alistair threw them, thinking of taking some, but changed my mind.
Mostly because they're all cheap.
A, they're all cheap, and B, that's like proof of murders, and I don't really want to carry that on me.
Some
I
fingers
carried
there,
around
too.
a ring with a blinking eye on it for several weeks. I don't know.
Is there
Now, that was
anything?
artful.
Is there anything you wish to do before you proceed to respective havens and the demon house for the day?
Just update the doctor to say don't worry about that thing anymore, and then tell my men the same thing.
In
I
that
will,
case, oh yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no,
I
please.
I will call my my contact. What do I have him in here? Like a chief of police or something like that. Chief inspector, I think it is. I'll call him and I'll basically update him that we've solved the serial killing murders for the women who've been being killed and had the mirrors placed in their eyes, and I'll give him all the details and location.
Wonderful.
Would want a quick moment with Thurston too.
We can say that you are probably outside the demon house. Everyone else has
We both
retired
stay
for the
there.
day.
Oh, Inspector got me thinking when he was asking about the diablerie and whatnot. As we've discussed what happens when one us drinks another one of us, got me curious. I like to have a lot of tools at my disposal. And I think your blood has some of those tools that could be quite useful to me.
What exactly are you getting at?
I would like a donation, Thurston, of some of your blood.
I feel inclined, sure, but may I inquire what ideas you have?
Like I said, I just want to expand my repertoire. All the tools necessary. I could be the best I can be for this coterie.
Can't really see anything wrong in that. I
I
feel
didn't
the
think you
same way
would.
from a different perspective. So, we've helped out each other before. You've done a lot of work to make me look good. I guess this is but a small favor.
Right, thank you. Well, it's a favor between friends, right?
Right. Just saying that I have ways to go to make up for everything you've done.
Oh no,
But yes,
don't think about it.
I could definitely do that. And I haven't been able to show it off at any point, but I pull out like a vial because I've been keeping vials on me. Um, I guess I probably would have opened up like a coat pocket or like I'm sorry, opened up my like the front of my jacket, and you would just seen like a bunch of vials, most of them empty, but a couple of them have like bugs of some kind in them. And I just grab an empty one and then close my jacket. And would
But
this be a good amount?
no, I just need something straight from the source, if you don't mind. I'll pop my fangs.
Okay.
Where do you want it?
I guess just in the wrist would be fine. I wasn't
Perfect.
imagining it would be this
Immediately
direct.
grab his arm and go to bite his wrist.
I don't think there's any point making roll for that at this time of the game, so that's fine.
Thank God.
How much would you like to extract?
I think I just need a taste. A rouse worth, I suppose.
Okay, we'll call that a dot. So, you may slake 1 dot of hunger,
That's
but
2
do not
for
go
me, right?
underneath 0. Thurston?
No, because we're the same generation, I think. The same potency.
No, I'm saying I go up because you drank
Yeah,
one. I go
Thurston, you increase your hunger by 2. And I do believe that counts as a blood bond. Yeah. I was waiting for someone to say, actually, I spent those dots to get unbondable, but okay.
up.
No,
I
no,
have
no, no,
unbondable,
no,
but
no.
I'm not the one.
Multiple
being- Yeah.
of us have the other.
True.
Nobody was like, I'll just get unbondable. No, we were like, yeah, extended.
Except for me, because I have nothing else to spend it on.
Which I
Yeah.
think my bond declare has finally expired as of this
Both of
month.
us. Yeah, both of us.
Yeah, I don't think. No, he does know how that works. If that explained to him with the Clara stuff. But yeah,
So-
that was it.
Okay. Thurston is now your golem-like ring. Ish. One
No,
bond.
at 3, it's when it's like bonded.
Yeah.
I've like, isn't it like I have a point towards I'm more amicable towards him now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
You're on the
continue
way.
being nice to me and not feel bad about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
now I can not sarcastically be nice to you.
Yeah, you're
Exactly.
Alistair friendly with him
Yeah.
compared to where Aldrich was.
So we shall bring this week's session to a close. And, let's see. Eveline, who are you? Where can we find you?
I am Ms. Hearts. You can find me just about anywhere, Twitch, Twitter, and the rest as Ms. Hearts. I am taking a hiatus from I Want My 80s show right now. And the Dove Stage project is on hold until October because it's outside and Texas is hot. So you can find me here. And if you need any graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
Thurston, who are you? Where can we find you? What do you do? Let's find out.
I'm Thurston. I say funny things sometimes, and then I do dumb stuff.
All the time.
You can find all the time. Yeah, you can find me practically anywhere at Nights with Type at. And if you need any promotion products, go to libopromo.com.
Aldrich, who are you? Where can we find you?
I'm Bully. You can find me over at Table Goth, where I also play vampire and talk about vampire mechanics. And you can catch us at the Onyx Path Publishing Twitch channel, where we play Cults of the Blood Gods.
Inspector Gray, who is Alistair? Where can we find him?
Alistair is also known as Tina. He hangs around this Discord, so you can find him on Table of Horrors in the Table of Horrors Discord and all that good stuff.
Alistair, who is Inspector Gray and where can we find him?
Inspector Gray is Noscavian. He is actively an online nudist model.
Asked and answered.
You all know how to use Google. Figure it out yourself.
Thanks.
That's pretty good. This week, we have the start of a new mini chronicle on Friday. Is it midnight UTC that kicks off? So that's technically Saturday morning, but yep, right here. Set back in Oxford, following pretty much right on from where we left London's Burning, in fact. Near enough. With an entirely different cast.
I have something to do on Friday nights now. Yay.
So tune in for that. I think that's absolutely everything. But of course, we can't go until Noscavian says the line.
Have a good night.
You said Noscavian, not Isaac.